Welcome back to another episode of the Red Wagon Inn. So glad to have you all joining us for tonight. We have lots of cool things up and on the way, and we have a Jakey who is a black screen for a little bit because a work meeting came and scheduled itself very briefly right before we got started. So Jakey will be joining us. It's just a black screen for now, and Alex is still traveling across the US of A for work stuff, so he won't be here tonight. So we still have a little XC cube for the time being. That's his version of being in the ring for Emma. But with all that to say, excited to have you all. Thank you for joining us. I'm very in the mood for some Red Wagon Inn. So before we get started, Drew and Brie and Jakey, since you all are so forthcoming with your shills, do you have any more shills? It is great to have. How old did you say you were, Jakey, as a guest on this week? This is our first 4-year-old guest this time.
Yes, the first ever little baby guest today.
Good. I mean,
does Jake get inspiration?
That's cruel. Please, Rybo, don't.
He gets a baby inspiration. You can add 1 to any roll.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh dang.
But
it just makes you feel sad and isn't very helpful.
Hey, 1 could be the difference between a failed charisma check and a awkward conversation.
Yeah, but see, you've also gone through the terrible 2s, so you get a 2 GFY that is -2. So we're gonna see how they all work out. Does anybody have anything that they need to shill between the lot of the 3?
I do actually have some shilling to do. So Level Up Dice is at conventions at the moment. So we just finished up with PAX West, and by we, I of course mean the US team because I am here in Australia. But they finished up with PAX West and they're on their way to Gen Con. So if you are going to Gen Con, make sure you stop by and say hello. And we also have Critcast, which is available on our website right now, and there's a bunch of really cool new releases that are coming out at conventions during convention season. So keep an eye on socials and see the new cool stuff we're doing. We just made some really awesome dice boxes, which I'm super proud of, and I think they look fantastic. We're working with some really cool partners and stuff, so check all that out. And that's my shill.
Boom. Shill 1 down. Drew.
I just have stuff in my shop. If you want to go buy it, go buy it. That's it.
I mean, with that kind of energy, I would go buy it. Or maybe if you could sell yourself a little bit, Drew, that would be great, you know.
Hi, I'm Drew. Go buy my stuff.
Good. That's what we were looking for. And subscribe to Jakey's non-lewd OnlyFans, right?
Funhouse.
It's lewd now.
Oh, good.
No.
As it should be.
Like you do.
Anything you got for us tonight, Jakey?
No, I'm just still working on stuff on the Fan House and Patreon front. There's right now, I think Patreon and Fan House has like 4 comics that like the world has not seen. So they're gonna be like peppered throughout like the next upcoming weeks. But you're behind if you're not, and it's only if you pay $1 on Patreon, a little dollar in Canadian money. You toss a coin to me. You get to see them all. Whoa. And I'm going to be posting old archive stuff that like you won't even be able to find on the internet unless you do your own deep diving. But who wants to do that? I'm lazy. But $7 to get juicy, fun stuff like little profile pictures and things. So that's me.
Boom. Look at that. Toss a coin to your comic artist. I just came up with that all on my own, and I'm ready to get us started on some art. Wow. We have a couple pieces of art out, some from Azog Lucius Layden. I hope I said that right, but I like this art because it's imagining of new creatures for the Scorch based on campaign 1 that you all visited. I really like the land shark. I'm getting very Garchomp from Pokemon vibes from it in the best kind of way. It's really awesome. Street sharks. Street sharks.
We don't like pizza. We like burgers.
Street sharks. I really love Street Sharks. I'm sorry.
I love it, and I love all of the horrible things that are now ideas that I can do to the players, like the tree with the giant maw-like mouth. I've never needed inspiration to give you all a Deku tree enemy, but now that I have it, I'm glad that I do.
Looks like we're never going to the Scorch.
The Deku tree is more like the Deku tree. That thing's gonna kill you.
They didn't draw that. That's a different. That's not on Fan House to get that one. We also have some stuff made by Blazeland. Blazeland made a little Ruckus and a Emma doll, and they're awesome.
Adorable.
They're so adorable. There's more pictures of them and their little kid Percy, but I didn't want to show a child up on the internet without necessarily permission. So here's the dolls that you can check out. It also feels weird to say you can check out Discord if you want to see the cute children pictures.
My undead child Percy.
Yeah.
Right?
If you want to see
The
Percy
undead Percy?
enjoying the child. I forgot that you have Brian, Percy, Lucy, and Henry waiting for all of the other children that we now know to become undead. We also have some, I want to say clay, or I'm not entirely sure, but it is a image of the giant armored centipede that you all wrote on in campaign 1, made by I'm So Dirty Dan, which I assume is Dirty Dan the push-up man, Drew, but I'm not entirely sure.
That's right.
But no, it's a really, really cool. If it is clay, it's awesome. If it's 3D print, that's also awesome. Really, really enjoy that. There's this other artist that you should check out. They are pretty great. They make a lot of things around Ordell. A crazy amount of things about Ordell. They're really on the ball. They get more new things with Ordell.
A lot of their stuff.
I would too, personally. It's crazy how good this is compared to Jakey's images. They're just right on par. Jakey made some new Ordell images, which I have noted as Ordy, and he made the notes for last week's session, which I'm only going to keep up there briefly because it is time to roll for recap. Jakey, I will roll for her, and if I lose as Jakey, I'm picking who has to do the recap. I'm just calling that now. I got a 17. Jakey
got a 17.
got a 17.
Uh-oh. 3 17s.
I mean, whoops. 7.
I got 11.
God
3.
damn it. Why? Every time. Every
17.
time.
Does anybody have the stats on how many times it's been Brie? It's got to at least be 10 out of 16, right? At least.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
That's
Wait, can I use my baby inspo I've been given to make everybody re-roll? Because I think that is funny.
I will allow it.
No.
Fair enough.
Only because Brie was so... I wonder... It's got to be me somehow earlier, and I really want that to happen. So I'm down for having your baby reroll make everybody reroll at one point tonight, just because that sounds fun. So we'll change it to
I might do that for initiative.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
I think that you're bringing it on yourself to have such bad intros to your YouTube content when this is reposted on your channel.
Pay attention during the streams, Brie. You're here. What else are you doing?
Okay, so last week we started off back in the house with Adam and with what was the third one's name? Oh my god! With the 3 vampires, and you thought we were gonna die, but we didn't. We annihilated them. Ashrin was quite the badass with a bunch of smites. Also, I know I'm not getting the inspiration because I messed myself up. I could have just pretended that I didn't need to say their names, but So Ashrin absolutely messed them up. I managed to paralyze Adam. For some reason, the only vampire I can remember. Managed to paralyze Adam. And then Ashrin took control of a key character in our story whose name I know.
For the love of God, it's Sasha. I love you.
Sasha. I know that.
Of course you
think
do.
I get recap anxiety. Took control of Sasha, killed the other one who is inconsequential. They're dead, so we don't need to remember their name at all. Took control of Sasha and was going to kind of see if there was a way for us to get them back. Held her knife up to Adam's throat, but then Adam was like, oh no, and resisted, and so she just straight up killed him. Then we had like some moral discussions about whether or not we should keep Sasha alive, or if we should get rid of her. I personally thought that we should at least try and get some information out of her, but Emma and Ordell, once we went back and caught up with him. Did this happen last week? Yeah, no, it did. We went and caught up with Ordell, who is now a little boy. Who
Can we
Winter
pause?
was
Okay.
kind of like.
This was not that the recap isn't going fantastically, Brie,
It's
but not
going
only
really
it's
well.
going bad enough that Verity is trashing you in the comments, saying like, "What are you using the stuff? I write recaps, very detailed ones."
Do you know, I like to just play immersively as Winter's experiences, and she's very forgetful. Come on, guys. I do my best.
She's
I
trying,
do my
she's
best.
Trying. She's trying real hard.
She's
I
trying.
can see it. I can see it in her
Stop
face.
it.
She's trying.
I feel very personally attacked right now, and it is super anxiety driven, having to be the one that does the recap every week. You would think I would take notes, knowing that I'm probably going to
Jakey
have to do
makes
it next.
notes for
Hold
you.
on, everybody.
I have
Hold
So
on.
does
notes
Verity.
on the screen.
Oh, you're
Bree
cheating.
is having a breakdown right now. Breathe.
Yeah, you
Well,
know,
I, for
I've
one,
had
was
2
enjoying
kids,
this
and my
recap.
brain is fried for like 14 years or something. Science. No, I'm
Science!
doing well. We went. Ordell is a boy. Winter's into it. You know what? Fuck yeah! I'm not getting the inspiration anyway. Why don't you do the recap, Ryan?
Yo, I'm gonna be the first to say it. That's my favorite recap to date, unironically.
So I've got Brie down for her 9th GFY, getting very close to a 10th GFY for Brie. Excited for that one. Let's do a high level continuation recap. Brie, thank you for your
No worries. I
effort.
have children now. Brian, Henry, Percy, and Luke.
bring them in. Well done. Yes, so in a high level recap way, yes, you all were fighting vampire spawn named Sasha, Adam, and Rythis. Eventually, they had to kill Adam, and Sasha became under their control for a while. They left there after who's Rythis? Shit, take it, Jakey. After Elijah and Emma came storming in to save the day, they were like, okay, let's leave Elijah here to deal with this for a little bit. They went back to the castle, kind of talked it out, found out Ordell likes to do cooking, also found out that Ordell is baby Ordell, learned a little bit about what that meant and what that past was. He's a monk now, not a barbarian. He's got a lot of memories on both sides. Then they were like, okay, let's go see Elijah. Elijah's trying to calm the town down, say like, no, we'll get this. Don't worry. Trust the skeleton lady. As Emma comes out, heals the town. People were like, we don't trust the skeleton lady. And then she was like, here's steroids. And they were like, we love skeleton lady. And so now town's cool with Emma. And Elijah has assured them that they're going to go hunt down these dastards. And Elijah came back in. Turns out he has a murder boner for this now and is very excited to go kill these vampire things and is excited for the fact that he knows the face of his enemy. So he's excited by that. The rest of the party's like, chill it out, maybe force of 500 suns instead of 2,000. And there was some convincing done for Ritter to basically make him more positive that worked out very well. The whole party's essentially on board now. We got a couple magical items that were thrown in, and for all intents and purposes, we've decided that we're going to go after the great machines that Elijah knows about, that have created clouds in the sky and hopefully weaken the army of Ignis that might be forming as a vampire. So if we can't make him hurt by the sun, we can at least hurt his minions. And so that's the plan, is to go across the lands and destroy the great 4 cloud generators or cloud makers. Some way, somehow, the party's going to go do that and avenge the town. That sound good enough as a recap for where we're at?
I'm pretty sure that's basically what I said.
Basically the same thing.
And also, are you forgetting a cubed friend?
That is true. Xe did have a brain malfunction whoa, this is illogical. This shouldn't happen. And so Xe is currently a Rubik's Cube with lots of slots on the
I
inside.
would like to throw it out there that you did, in fact, say that in your recap, Ryan. I just want to throw it out there. You did mention Cube Xe.
Mm-hmm.
This Brie, Brie, I love you.
I mean, should we start playing?
Brie, look, you said that this wasn't personal. However, I have to say, I beat yours. It was just better. I don't know. It had more information. Objectively, you know, obviously I don't care. I'm glad that you had a good time, but objectively it was better. You know, objectively.
It's like it had names and things, details.
I
Facts
preferred
about
your
what
version
happened.
because I don't
Everyone
like
gets
having to
that.
do it. So if even with your version, I do prefer yours. So go ahead.
Before we start, could I do an impression of Xe, Rybo?
Oh, you can. Andrew can get his inspo.
No, I'm doing it. Look how thick that boy is.
Absolute thickums. But anyway, here's Xe.
That's great.
I'm not in character yet, so I'm allowed to do that.
I had to wait for the GameCube sound to finish if it was going to be the actual finishing of the GameCube or the Spider-Man little sound at the end of it. If you're right. If we don't have anything else, I love you, Brie. Everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, and come hang out with us at the Red Wagon Inn. So we stopped last night with everybody finally getting some rest. Everyone's gone to sleep. It is a new day. It is not as rainy out today, though quite humid. Even when you wake up in the morning, the heat from the Great Springs below in Cavity. Oh, and by the way, we have 2 giveaways tonight, 2 mystery tokens, so be excited for those. One will be in the first half, one in the second. Very, very humid, so much so just the general mugginess around you is what kind of wakes everyone up this morning. There's still the kind of constant sound of distant and rolling thunder just because of the clouds that have been generated. You can see that red lightning streaking constantly across the sky, but it's still warm where you're at. Though outside of this kind of encased bubble area, you can see snow is on the ground. So even though you are in a warm area, packing for some snowy weather might be advised depending on which cloud generator or cloud maker you're wanting to stop first. As everyone wakes for the morning, Emma, Winter, and Ashrin, you're kind of the first to wake. As Emma, you weren't really asleep so much, just in your ring and kind of in a hibernative state or reading through your own books. But Ashrin has been awake for a while, and eventually the sound of her getting ready and getting her armor on wakes you up, Winter, and you notice just how muggy it is here in the room after a rain like that. It feels like you're in the equivalent of Florida. It is just a horrible, muggy place right now, though you see the snow in the distance. You all can hear some clatter outside your rooms that must be further inside the keep. People possibly moving chairs, tables. There's some commotion going on, which also wakes Ordell and, well, Xe's in a cube form. So it wakes Ordell up. Ritter still is off in his own room. But we'll start with Winter and Emma. As Emma, you also hear Ashrin kind of finally moving around and getting her armor on, waking fully Winter up and kind of bringing you back to reality.
Emma is going to come out of the ring with the most glorious winter coat with fur around the hood. She is ready. She is prepared. And she's popping out. She says, "Hi."
Good morning.
Hi. Okay. Do you have more of those to spare? Do you even need those?
I do. My bones get cold, and I'm ready. Can you not tell? It is cold right now.
It's not cold at all. In fact, it is.
I was shivering in my ring, and that's why I put this on.
It's actually kind of sticky.
It's
That's gross.
going to be cold, but it's not now. Do you have more of those?
This is the only one.
Good. Yay. Great. Winter.
What if we cut it up and then divided it amongst the children? Because obviously the children need protection.
The children are dead. They don't need that.
You're dead.
See, I thought for a moment that you meant the real children of the town, not the dead ones.
Well, they're not coming with us, are they?
I would hope not. I thought you were just trying to be nice.
Well, yes, Emma. I think you should probably chop your coat up for these children because it will be cold. But also for my children.
How big do you think this coat is? As Emma like holds it up, it's a very like thin coat, but it's like it's a winter coat, but it's very thin.
Ordell with
It's
your
a winter coat.
thin, thick fur hide winter coat with lots of Game of Thrones
It's
type fur on the collars.
very-
Yeah.
Very fluffy, but extra thin.
Yes.
It's lingerie style. It's just big strips of
Size
fur, you know.
0, thank you.
Ordell, you with your open window can hear coming out from the adjacent room's open window Emma, Winter, and Ashrin arguing from the nearby room. You see the cube of Exy that basically was placed in your room is almost an additional doorstop to prevent anybody from coming in as the sounds wake you up for the morning.
He does like a big stretch. His like fire basically fully extinguished, so he just looks like a little like bald, much smaller. And as he stretches, he just like illuminates and just, and he's like, oh, well, he's still a cube. And Ordell's gonna go. He's gonna take the sled that was once for Winter because he can't carry a person while.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, so early in the night.
Oh no.
At least he was paused in such a handsome position, though.
He's so
So
handsome.
handsome. It was like
He had blue steel going on.
It was just.
Oh, I think he's good to go now, actually, though. I can see his
Am
camera
I?
moving. Yeah, you're good.
Hello. Okay, cool. I don't. Discord hates me, by the way. So it's not happening anywhere else on any device.
You need to get
anyway,
Nitro, man.
I think I have it,
Well,
or
then you
it just
don't
expired.
need to get Nitro, and you're giving it away too easy. You need to make them want it a little more.
mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, no, I should be subscribed. Anyway,
Discord likes people who
what
play
was I
hard to
saying?
get.
Anyway, Ordell's gonna kind of fix the once Winter Baby Bjorn thing to like kind of like put XC on the back of it. So I guess like someone could go into it, but yeah, and then he's just gonna leave his room with now a giant cube ornament on his back.
As you exit the room, and the rest are discussing whether they're going to put fur on their zombie children or real children, or if Emma's just going to keep her outfit, you exit and you can still hear their voices coming through the room. As you're about to go and knock on the door, you see Elijah and Ritter throwing out several bits of gear on the nearby table that you all had eaten on with Ignis that time before on the north side. Not only Elijah, but there are several other townsfolk here as well. You can't exactly make out what is on the table, but they seem to be conversing with the town and prepping something. They are piles and piles mounted underneath the table, which you find interesting. Mostly adults are here in this great hall. None of them seem to recognize or notice that you are off on the western wing as you stand outside of the door for the ladies' room.
Yeah, Ordell's just gonna start like seeing where he can give a hand to people moving things. He's not gonna bug people just yet because he's not sure. Well, he could hear them talking, but I think if they're having a conversation, he wouldn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
So he's just gonna start pitter pattering. His little feet's plapping on the ground as he goes.
Okay. Winter, Emma, and Ashrin, then is there anything that you're wanting to be doing besides the debate for where the fur should be used?
Well, I legitimately would like to try and find some clothing for the children to make them look less dead and more like kids. So maybe like some little cloaks or something that I can dress them in so that you can't see their putrid rotting flesh.
Emma's just
Good.
gonna go over to the bed and rip off sheets.
That's a sheet, Emma.
It could be a cloak, it could be a robe, it could be whatever you want it to be. And there's this like montage Emma does of just like wrapping the children in these sheets. It doesn't look great.
So the children, if I recall, are in their own little room that Winter put them in. So are you going out to just
Yep.
wrap the children in sheets
Yep.
in makeshift togas?
Yep.
Do you have any, Emma, do you have any way to make this not just a sheet? Because this just looks like, I love you children, but this looks like 4 dead children in a sheet, which is
Honestly,
probably worse.
They all kind of look like little zinnias as Emma cuts it up and makes the best out of just 4 squares that she possibly can in creating 4 red, because of where
Togas.
you're at, little togas. And so they are zombies clad in fine ruby red togas. And, you know,
So
of
now
course, about 4 foot tall.
So now they just look like they're in an undead army.
Yeah. Oh, you got to have the identifying marks.
Okay.
Emma looks and gestures down and points. Opa.
I guess this will do until we can find them actual clothing. I think it would be a little insensitive of me to go into the village, like downstairs, and look for garments to dress these people's dead children. It might not go over well. So I can
Fine.
look when we're on the road.
I think it would go fine. I mean, that's how I got the staff, and Emma like waves around the new staff.
Yeah, did you
wasn't gonna
just
use it
take that
anymore.
off of somebody who died?
He wasn't going to use it anymore, so I want it.
Whatever. Who am I to say who's going to use something? You took the bodies off of people who died, Winter.
I did that too.
Yeah. But I took the children of people, like we made sure that they were children whose parents were also dead. So their parents can't be traumatized by seeing their dead children walking around.
So we're going to say that the 3 of you are talking about this as you're leaving the zombie children's room and walking towards the Great Hall, where Ordell, you all can see Ordell having just walked that way. You're met with a kind of a frenzied... a frenzy. There's no better way to describe it than just being a frenzy. Elijah and Ritter are passing out goods and things that will hopefully be able to help the people of this town not only survive but defend themselves. They seem to have gathered up most of the weaponry from the guards in the town that weren't evil, that had died in the fighting, or even family weapons. Some crude, just almost like little clubs, but a lot of them spears and longer, more well-made weapons. Elijah is moving quite quickly back and forth, trying to talk to a lot of the townsfolk, which there's quite a few of them, maybe 30 or 40 in here, that they're finding shoulder pads, jerkins, a few breastplates, things that can just keep a pseudo-militia in this town to where if they did need to defend it, they could, while Elijah, who would have been the person to help with that, is going to be gone. So Ritter kind of comes over to you. You can see there's sweat on his brow. They must have been working for quite some time, and for a while this morning. He says, "Hey, it's a madhouse this morning. People had a lot more questions than they did answers, but mostly it's positive. Things are moving in the right direction. These people want to defend their hometown. They don't want to leave, so we're just trying to get them as much equipment as we can. Elijah and I have been up for a while at this. Please, we could use a helping hand."
I was just about to say, do you want to tap out, go take a quick nap, and I can run around and stuff if you want to rest before we go.
I guess that depends on when do you think the others are gonna... Oh, actually, hey, Ritter waves to Winter, Emma, and Ashrin, and the children to have them come over. You see Ritter's kind of catching his breath. He says, "Well, good morning. We didn't know when you all would wake up."
What can we do? Can we help? Are we setting out today or?
Is that some sort of identifying mark? Were you afraid you wouldn't recognize the children? Put some
Their
Well-
clothing.
I just point to Emma and roll my eyes. Emma thought that this would be a good way to dress them. I was hoping for cloaks, things that would make them less recognizable as.
Well, there's some cloaks on the table over there. You could probably justify giving them, since we'll be out in the cold and most of the people will be staying here in the heat. But don't take more than we need. The villagers will still need them here. But we do have some supplies. Gather what you need. If there's any crude weapons, and if there's anybody that needs help, try and help them. But if you're all up, I'm going to gather my things, try and take a quick bath before we go, and hopefully we can get on the road soon.
Okay,
Makes sense to me.
that sounds good.
Elijah has several ideas for how we're going to go about this. Talk to him. I told him that that's entirely up to you all how you want to go with it, but I'm behind you 100%. As he looks at Ordell and kind of gives him a pat on the shoulder based on their conversation yesterday, and heads off into his room to take a quick bath before everybody leaves.
I'd like to go over to the cloaks and start fashioning some cloaks onto the children while casting Animate Dead again for the day.
A lot of these cloaks look very appropriate for a winter place. Much of them... actually, let me see what you do or don't know. Roll a survival for me, Winter.
So 1.
1. These cloaks are made out of very strong fur and lots of thread. And they're white and they look pretty.
Are they thin though?
Both thick and thin, actually, depending on your definition of both, as Emma would say.
Well, I'm just, wow, nice cloaks. I'm gonna put them on the children.
Emma, Ordell, and I'll roll for Ashrin. Ashrin also is unfamiliar with this territory, which she, of all people, should be one that would know it. Emma and Ordell, go ahead and roll me a survival.
Level up dice.
Nah, dice can, man.
Oh, yeah. Before
16.
Drew and Jakey got on, I told Brie, I was like, yeah, they roll too high. We need dice cams from him. Don't trust him anymore.
That's
I
fair.
apparently didn't need one.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Who knows? The recap rolls, I just want them to continue. What was
Brie,
yours,
shut up,
Jakey?
this is for the benefit of your character.
Also, I have skimmed through every recap just being not the lowest. Like today I was at 11. But I got a 16.
Nice.
16, Emma?
Natural 20.
Oh, solid.
Plus 4, so 24.
As these ghoulish children walk behind Winter, you can see them adorned in cloaks that appear to have been made from white wolf fur. Very good for blending into the snow here, and will help them not be seen as easily. However, with their nature being zombified, it would be hard spun to keep these things clean and as white as you would probably like them. So they'll be good. They'll probably help them blend in. However, wearing these for a prolonged period of time might reduce that effect. But they'll definitely be warm for the kids and make them look nicer.
Can you tell that they're dead?
Let me paint a picture here. I'm going to try and be as good an artist as Sam was. 4 ghoulish children with limpid legs walk up on the hard marble stone towards you all, clad in the bloody cloths of the day before, wrapped in red toga linens, and covered in Game of Thrones white-style Night's Watch cloaks. They are a scene to be seen.
Ordell takes because he's got that kind of soot kind of stuff coming off his hands now. He rubs his hands together so it like makes a little cloud, and he goes to each one and gives them like stubble by patting their cheeks. There, now they just look like angry old people.
I'm gonna stand back and look at them for a minute. Okay.
Ordell
Thanks
stands
for your
back and looks
help,
at them and is
guys.
just like did not help, but he's still like anytime Winter looks over, he's like
Yeah, I think works. You'll be fine. I say it and pat them all on the head.
As you do so, you hear several heavy moans of but they're they're lighter. They're kids. They're fun. They keep things like yeah, exactly.
Popeye up in here.
Okay. Now, each of you find a buddy so that the other doesn't get lost.
They kind of look at each other before stopping, staring at you. You think they don't comprehend what you say, but because mentally you tell them exactly what to do, they just all reach out and grab each other's hands, and it create this kind of ring around the rosy walk between the four of them. If you didn't see their horrible faces, it would be quite adorable.
Oh, good job. Well done, guys.
I don't... Ashrin holds her tongue. As you all are dressing the children, Elijah says, "Finally. All right, everybody just grab what you need. We've got to make our plans and we've got to get out of here soon. You're awake. I'm glad. Honestly, I haven't slept a wink. I've been up all night planning. I'm a morning person, and I'm ready to go. This is going to be great. I've come up with a few ideas. Forgive me for interjecting them, but I think that they're the only ways that we can move forward and make progress. Otherwise, we might be backpedaling on a few things or making tricks that we just don't need to. So I have ideas, but I want to hear yours too." Elijah is in that same kind of excited, lively mood that he was before. You're not sure if it's from the same source that it was, since he's been up all night, or looking at the people in the room. Can everybody roll me a perception check?
No, I cannot.
Yeah,
what up?
neither.
I'm Ordell. I'm now 13, and I never learned how to read. The room.
23.
23. Emma, as everyone else is kind of still put off by Elijah's attitude, looking around, you see most of the people in the room here have a similar attitude. This town seems to have been not indoctrinated, but built upon people who want something to do, want to work. And so having a goal that is common for this town is kind of given them purpose and reason for doing. And so possibly their reasoning and more positive reaction to the things that have gone on has been spurring Elijah on through this. And so he's just proud of his people. So, but I've got lots to do. Go ahead, Emma.
But I would love to hear all of your ideas, and I'm sure we will in momentarily, but I will request that you probably get some sleep before we do this.
No. I'm good.
Or I will make you sleep before we do this.
We don't have time. We want to move in the daylight. Well, quote unquote.
We can still move while you're asleep. So she'll be asleep.
How?
Yeah, I want to ask
Ordell
about that.
can't carry us anymore.
He can find a way. We can put the children to work.
Looking down. Oh, they look good.
Wonderful.
Stylish, I think might be.
Cute.
Yeah. No, but no, I'll be fine. I'm good.
I mean, if we're going out in like the snow and stuff, I'm not really concerned, as Ordell just like makes himself like glow in like a very wide radius.
You see? We're good. We've got warmth. We'll be fine. If I stay for too long, I'm gonna sleep like the dead. No offense, Winter. But let's
That's okay. I'm alive.
Yeah, but okay. So he's like, "Come, I've laid out a few options here." As Elijah kind of beckons you over to a table, you can see he has the map from before that Ritter had been holding, kind of laid out before, just like he did last time, just to show off several of the locations. In doing so, he starts kind of showing off a few routes that he thinks would be good ideas to take, but then is very much like, I want to hear all of your thoughts as well. So everybody should be able to see this is the map of Old Cora on there. On the left side, right near where it says Old Cora, there's a machine. On the very bottom left, there's a machine. Right almost in the center of the little continent, there's one, and then there's one on the right side. And so Elijah starts saying, well, Okay, I figure we either need to go left from here or west from here, and we can hit that one and then just make kind of a counterclockwise rotation all the way back up. Or we need to go east and go clockwise all the way around. Otherwise, we might be bouncing back and forth a bit through too much. So there's that. That's part one. Part two, which sounds a bit riskier, I might add, but I also think it's doable. Ritter and I, with Ritter's stealth and expertise, and my worship and general ability to fight things like the dead, could possibly go on our own to take one.
Would you
I don't
feel fully
think
up
that's
for
a-
that?
I don't think anything would be able to quell my wrath once I see the very first one of these.
How far apart are they?
They're miles, half a continent away. It will take a week or two each. We're just thinking, well, I haven't asked him this. I don't know if he's up for it, but I bet we could do it. It would maybe save an entire month's worth of travel. It could save lives in the long run. That's my only thought with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that we should split up.
Which way is the unwilling city?
That's to the east.
That's the one I want to go to.
Okay,
Um,
great.
can we circle back around to you and Ritter leaving? We kind of just had this big breakthrough moment with Ritter where he realized that he was a part of our family, and now we're telling him he should go miles away. Does that not seem counterintuitive?
No problem. I just thought that we might be able to get things done more quickly. But that's just an option. Like I said, I want to hear yours. I feel like I've got 100 ideas in my... And he starts explaining several others. But those are the ones that he seems most confident in, is we either need to go clockwise or counterclockwise around these things to save the most time.
Well, here's the thing. When I had the light, the closer I got to where this place was, the stronger it was getting and the more signals I was receiving. I mean, I want Ritter to stay with us, but if Ritter and Elijah could get to one while we're doing one, like the less time that Ignis has, I think would be better.
Do you think that Ritter's going to feel sad?
I mean, if we're all talking about the plan and stuff and keep him in the loop, it's not because we don't want Ritter around. It's because Ritter is good at sneaking and Elijah, and I just kind of rattle Elijah's armor a little bit.
If he could help me, that would be great. I think there's 5 of you, 2 of us. If we could just meet, you two, or you all could take out 2 of them, we could take out 1, and then meet at one final one to take it out, and then head to the castle from there. Just an idea. Again, it's not required.
Ashton, what do you think about Ritter going off on his own? With Elijah, of course.
Why would you single me out for asking me why about...
Well, I mean, it's just that everybody else had expressed their opinion, but, you were quite
Well, I just
quiet.
kind of wanted to hear everybody else's, but now I think I'll let myself speak for myself.
Why would you single me out like that?
I nailed her breathiness. Got it.
That was like spot on. When you
It was really good.
I was like, wow, that was very good.
I'm not singling you out. It's just that Emma and Ordell have just put for. I mean, pretend I didn't ask. Children, what do you think about Uncle Ritter going away for
As
a
bit
while?
of black goop, which could be mistaken for drool if it weren't for their state, drips down one of their cheeks. You quickly take a napkin and dab up little Percy's face, just to keep her looking less zombie-like.
They're not sure.
When the attention was brought to like Emma and Ordell was mid like putting his finger near like Emma's flame again, but then it made his flame green, and he goes like, "Oh!" and then he keeps doing that back and forth, and they're both just completely tapped out the conversation.
Well, again, it doesn't have to happen that way. Just as you said, Ordell, it might save some lives by just making things go quicker. I think speed is key here, but I also think stealth is as well. So if you think it'd be best with everybody to go, then we can do that. I think Ritter is going to be invaluable for this mission.
I'm just worried, that's all.
But if we stop by the unwilling town, then we can ask for help to help destroy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess this guy was trying to wage war on them, and I'm sure like word of this has like reached them. This is a whole city that was going to go like fight them. There's no way that was kept quiet for so long. At least one person's got to hear about it. And Elijah, no offense, you're a boisterous guy. You were talking about it on the road. There was probably people we passed that might have like even heard it. I bet you they know about this guy Ignis, and it's probably not against the town, but if we tell them like, hey, there's a guy who wants to start a war with you and he's a vampire, like we actually might only need to get 3 of them.
And Emma stretches. Okay, I'm going back in the ring. I've been too logical today. And Emma.
Wait, take this with you! As I hold the cube up and I'm just like.
As you say, take it with you, you see Emma zoop into a pocket on the cube.
Oh, no, I have the ring.
Oh,
So the ring
that's
just
right. Yeah,
drops
you
to the
did
ground,
take
I
it
guess.
I pick up the
so
ring, but I'm
where's
like
the ring?
tapping it against the cube. Clank, clank, clank.
Emma,
clank,
you
clank,
see,
clank,
like,
clank, clank, clank,
Oh,
clank, clank,
the
clank,
XC
clank, clank.
cube appearing closer and closer to the top of the...
I will pop out of the ring, snatch the ring, look at it, and what?
Can you? He's heavy.
I don't know.
Wiggle, wiggle, XC.
I guess I'll try and... Here, you hold this chain, and I'm gonna have him set down XC, and I'm just gonna like wrap around it and try and go into the ring.
And I'm gonna say, as it's happening, I don't know if that's a good idea.
As Emma, your spirit kind of begins flying upward very rapidly towards the ring as it's elevated, pulling up the chain, which like a tow truck where it just kind of sucks the chain up into the light that goes inside the ring. The box that is XC, however, clanks against the ring, sending both flying, the ring off in one direction and the box upward with the momentum that it had been pulled up towards the ring. The box is now flying maybe 20-30 feet in the air, and it's about to start coming down.
I cast levitate on the box.
Winter, no, I don't think... Quickly cast levitate as the box slowly descends down to the ground harmlessly.
But the rings...
Let's see.
And then I know I can't do. Can I do both? Because if I cast it and then release it and cast it on the other, then it will come down. It would take more than 6 seconds.
It would definitely take more than 6 seconds.
Sorry, less than 6 seconds for the ring to land.
As
Try and use my monkness to catch the ring.
Yeah, or Adele, you were watching it, kind of like, yeah, this. Oh! You quickly just catch the ring. It's not a worry about it flying too far. And as long as you're expending some effort, you can grab it, no problem. Real quick, Jakey, I don't know how much you've heard so far from the session. If you need any catch up,
Verity's got me.
boom, look at that. Oh yeah, Verity's being awesome. Great. So as you catch the ring and the box slowly floats to the ground, Ritter comes out, putting his quiver and bow over the shoulders and quiver at the side. He rejoins the group. You can see his hair's kind of wet as he appears. He says, okay, are we about ready to get going then? Have you all discussed what the plan's going to be? What are we doing?
There's a couple of different options. It depends what everybody feels comfortable with. There is one scenario where we could try and split up and hit these machines faster and then meet up and get the third together, or we could all go it as a group. What do you
Split
think
up?
would be?
What-
Yeah, I'm
what-
not.
As in, what do you? Why would we do that?
Yeah, I'm not 100% keen on that idea. I think that we're all safest together, but it's just an option for us to go through quicker.
Elijah then speaks. He's like, no, I think with you and I, when we're talking about splitting up, I'm thinking you and I, we could go to one machine. We could take it together with your stealth and Honestly, I'm pretty mad. My fury, I don't think anything could stop us. It's just a machine. It makes clouds, right? We'll take it out from the inside, not a problem.
Can I see how Ritter's like? Can I watch Ritter like really carefully to see how he reacts to the idea of him leaving with Elijah?
Yeah, roll an insight.
God damn it! I knew I should. I looked at it, sighed, and was like, "No, I'll give you one more chance, you stupid die." I rolled an 8 plus. What's my insight? So 10.
Ritter's always been a hard man to read. Today's no exception. He looks at the rest of the group as if he's trying to read your reactions to it. As he says, well, I don't think that's the best idea, but I also see the merit in it. If that's what the group wants us to do, I'm sure that we could, if it looks too hairy, we could just leave and meet you up somewhere else.
I think that was the idea would be because if you and Elijah are the ones splitting up, you should be the one spearheading the planning for that. So even though it's like we're all talking about this and whatnot, I think like you do have the most important say on this, Ritter. So it's not just what we want.
He kind of looks to Ordell. In a way that helps the most people the quickest, we could cover more ground that way. Two men can move very quickly. I know this area. Elijah and I can move very fast. But that leaves the 5 of you without any sort of guide. And XC still hasn't moved. I don't know. So it's really the 4 of you. If you're confident enough in this area, I think I heard that you wanted to go see the Unwilling. I'm not going to be any help there, nor is Elijah. So there's benefit to us not being together, but there's also benefit for us being guides for you in this area. You'd be going alone. I could give you my map. We're fine enough without it. Elijah, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, no, I didn't need a nap. Okay, I think I said map, not nap, but we could do this if that's what you want to do. If not, there's strength in numbers. We'll be safer with numbers, but we'll be faster if we split up. There's benefits to both.
I'm going to message Ritter. I'm not trying to do it very sneakily. I guess everyone can see me just holding my copper wire and pointing at him. Ritter, would you be sad? Would you be sad if we split up? Now, you can tell me this is a safe space. No one else can hear you in here. Tell the truth. I'm going to look at him.
Everyone sees Winter just pointing at Ritter, and the two of them kind of continuously raising eyebrows back and forth at each other. You all know what's going on here, as Winter does this quite often with everybody, but there's just kind of a silence with the hushed noise of the people moving around in the Great Hall behind you. Ritter says, I wouldn't be sad to be gone. Reconnaissance, that's fine. We can do that. I'd be sad not knowing if you all were safe or not. That concerns me.
Okay, I think that if we're going to do the split up thing, then we need to have a way to communicate with each other. Does anyone have any kinds of spells that can communicate long distance? I can do this, but I can only do it if you guys are like nearby, like in the same town.
I don't know. Elijah says, no, I don't either. We used to have sending stones, but I'm sure one of the spawns has them now. They used to use them on scouting missions, so I didn't have one.
Well, we killed several spawn. Was there any on them?
I don't really know what happens to all of their things because they turn into a great big pile of ash.
I didn't see one on Sasha's ash. Did you all check Adam? Did anybody burn him?
Are we meant to burn them?
I think they all should be
I wasn't
burned.
there.
I've been a bit busy.
No. Emma, you said a little prayer for them, didn't you?
Emma's in the ring.
Emma.
You could still hear it, Emma, but yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Winter,
sure.
you probably wouldn't expect a reply. Is you like, Emma?
Emma pops out of
think
the ring. Yes.
Yeah, Emma
Yes.
Emma did a little prayer.
Okay.
That's kind of like spiritual burning.
I mean, if we can go find the body, then we could burn it. But for 7 days, Adam cannot come back.
Sasha.
Sasha is a pile of ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we didn't burn her.
Right.
Well, as Ordell's kind of like yesterday definitely burnt the rest of the ash. I mean, if we're looking for signals, well, you guys
Oh,
might
I
not be
remember
able to
lost.
communicate back. But if you're worried about us, Ritter, and Ordell's going to go out to a window and he's going to shoot one of his sun bolts out, kind of like a flare. And then because with like control flame and stuff, I'm going to make them like different colors. We could make like a color scheme so we can just tell you that we're okay and stuff. Or if we need help.
Does that work?
How
like hundreds
How
of
far
miles
could you
away?
see that?
I mean, it's pretty high in the air, and I don't want to brag as Ordell like stands more limber and stuff. If I find like a high tree to stand in or something, like it still can go pretty high up in the air. We could just agree on a time at night that we're gonna do it, and then it'll be bright enough that if you see the color in the air, and if you don't see it, then could be the worst, but. And if it's really dire, I also can do this as Ordell makes his hands fully glow, and then he makes a huge cone of flame that's much bigger than the other lights. Still out the window, though.
But would we be able to see that from hundreds of miles away?
I mean, the air is pretty muggy. It's cloudy. There's not much sun interference, and the nights get really dark. I think any source of light coming out at night is pretty visible from far away. I mean, we saw Elijah while we were out on a road that was quite a far ways away, and we saw just like a campfire through trees. Not many things are bright out here.
That
It's
is
just an
true.
option.
What is there any way that you can do that, Ritter or Elijah? Can you make a really big bright
Oh, I can
flare
make a
in the
flame if I
sky
need to. I'm planning on burning
up
that,
high?
that maker down, so you should know when we burn it, make quite a flame.
So I guess we'll know when it's gone. How will we know if you're in trouble? Can we agree that we will send a signal each night? That might attract people to us.
I mean,
Look,
then we send a signal and move for another hour.
Ritter's kind of speaks up. He says, "There's clouds above us constantly. I don't think signals are going to work until we destroy everything. If we do it, we go until we can find each other again. We pick a machine to meet up at. We just have to risk it. It's fine. We can risk it. But it just is risky. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But we can save more lives that way. As long as we don't die in the process."
Yeah.
Should we vote again? Do you have that jar, Ordell?
I think so. Ordell goes and scoots on over and gets the jar and parchment and whatnot. And then while he's walking, he just kind of like rips strips of the parchment and then just puts the ink, charcoal, and things on the table.
I like, because I asked chat what they would like to see, just out of curiosity. And I like that even chat is deciding on this moral quandary of like, of course it would be safer for our people to stay together, but we could save more lives in the process. So it's kind of cool to see chat even making responsible thought into it, besides just like, ship with Ritter.
Let's just completely mess with Ryan. Ryan, Emma's going to suggest that she go with Ritter.
Do it. See what happens. Let's do. I'm fine. We'll make it happen.
Split the party.
Guess which group is gonna die, so I don't have to deal with it. Let's flip a coin, I guess. So as Ordell comes back with parchment, there's a small kind of piece of charcoal that everybody can use to write down their own thing. You can hear Elijah grumbling about it would be faster to just raise hands, as Ritter's like, yeah, but people won't say what they really feel as they kind of talk back and forth. They seem to have developed some sort of rapport during this time that he's been helping him during this morning. Whether that's because Elijah is infectiously optimistic or Ritter is trying, as Ordell had put it before, they do seem to have a buddy system going. So, for splitting up and for staying together, what does everybody write? We'll start with Winter and we'll go around clockwise. Winter?
Strange families stay together.
Stay together. Emma?
Emma didn't write anything down. She just looks at them all and says, I honestly don't care what you all do. I'm going to the undead city.
Emma, we're going to the undead city. You still have to vote.
You've got to pick.
Well, then there's no point in us all separating.
Okay. Ordell?
Ordell would probably see. Ordell's kind of stuck on the time thing. He wants us to stick together, but like the time is, I think, urgent to Ordell, so I think he would put split.
Split. Ashwin?
Think that we're stronger together in numbers.
Elijah obviously put split because that was his idea. But Ritter puts stick together. And so that's a vote of 4-2. So the party wants to stick together, make sure that everyone stays alive. As you kind of all look at Elijah, expecting him to be a bit saddened by the plan, but Elijah is nothing but excited. He says, perfect. It was just an idea. Like I said, I had many. I got 100 more. I'm just glad that we all came to some sort of, at least majority decision. We'll stay together. We'll keep each other safe. This would take a little bit longer, but that's fine. If we died on the road, then it would take a lot longer. Though Winter, you might be able to solve that problem. Either way, everybody grab your gear. Let's head out in, say, 10 minutes.
The children hug Ritter.
It's like, it's not even warm when they do this.
But they do leave an interesting goo.
They do, as he like pulls one of their heads back as they go and like put their head back and leave this kind of like trail of black goo on him. Luckily, with his attire, you won't see much of it on him, as he says, you don't have to as everybody slowly goes to start gathering their stuff. Elijah speaks briefly to one woman within the crowd who seems to have taken a majority of the leftover armor and a spear, seemingly appointing her kind of head of the defense of this city. He speaks to another person wearing like a mason's apron, and you can kind of overhear them talking about getting the wall finished as soon as possible and setting watches for the night and getting more light, etc. As Elijah finishes preparation, he doesn't grab much. He has his armor. He grabs a small pack with food and a bedroll. It doesn't take him long to prep. You kind of sense that he's used to always being on the move. And Ritter was already ready to go. But with the four of you, is there anything else that you want to get or have ready before heading out?
Ordell's gonna like kind of elbow Emma, like looking out a window, and he's gonna point. Is that the house where the two vampires were left?
No, it's the one 2 houses over. The one with the hole in the roof.
Cool. Ordell's gonna step up on the windowsill and turn and drop.
Bye.
It's like it's like a
Spider-Verse
6-foot drop. So as Ordell falls out, it looks very cool, Emma, but then you very quickly see the top of Ordell's head as he walks by. Ashwin, you know you get your point of inspo. Also, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Emma's like, huh. And Emma's just gonna like gently crawl out of the window and follow behind.
Emma, you're tall enough to where you can like hold your hands to let you down out of the window and like touch. But Ordell, you walk away thinking, oh yeah, as you head over to that house before hearing the footsteps of Emma following behind. While y'all are going to go check out that house, Winter and Ashwin, what are the two of you doing?
I wouldn't mind growing the family, Ashwin. Would you like to come help me look for some dead children?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Can you just promise me it's not going to be a repeat of the caves?
Oh, no, these are very, very nice children. And then they hug Ashrin.
Right. Just cold arms embracing me. Right? Right,
Well,
because they're children and not subjects this time, right? Good.
yeah, I'm okay. I'm not. I think that the staff was giving me some wacky ideas about, uh, you know, power and royalty and all of that kind of stuff. I, I just want to protect us, and the children can help with that.
Okay.
They all nod.
Right. I'm glad you came to terms with that.
Yeah, it got a lot easier after that cursed staff was taken off me.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll help out. Sure.
Cool. I try and I don't really want to take any children that look like their bodies will be missed because that seems a bit sensitive.
Let's find the loser kids.
No, find the kids. All of their families dead.
We're trying to
Much
raise
better.
a family here.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, whole families dead. Of course.
Mm.
Like children in their dead mom's arms.
Oh,
You said that
yes.
so calmly.
Mhm. Or if we luck upon an orphanage.
As Winter and Ashrin set out with zombies in tow, trying to find some semblance of luck, Emma and Ordell, you approach the house in which you all fought before. Those people that were there still were alive, the mother and two daughters. The door itself is closed, and you can see the mother outside sharpening a small knife, and you can hear inside footsteps on the wood flooring of the house. The mother, looking up towards you, says, "Can I help you?"
There were 2 vampire bodies that were around here. Did you dispose of them?
I threw them in the great fire where they belong,
Where would that great fire be?
in the hall. Great brazier.
Okay. No, good on burning them. They just might have things on their person that we might need or want.
How did you know that there were bodies here?
Emma waves from behind. Hello.
This one fought the vampires off.
Did you see where they took my husband? I saw the body of my boys, but I cannot find my husband's body.
That is what we are going to set out to do, to see if we can find where these sick thralls took people.
I thought he might have gotten taken. Damn it. So he's possibly still alive.
I mean, anything's possible.
Emma's jaw kind of drops a little bit, realizing that he's in the ring.
She rolled a
Ordell
nat
doesn't
1
know
on her
that.
perception, so good. If you find him, know that I'll be praying for him, and I wish that he has a safe return. He's a fighter. He won't let those things get him.
He's definitely a fighter.
I just look at Emma like, well said. We'll look for the fighter, and just like pat on the shoulder, and then Ordell's gonna run back to the Great Flame. But he's gonna go through the same window.
Just walks backwards, like really awkwardly, just like.
As the great doors to this kind of keep are open with stairs nearby, you kind of move to the side of it where, Ordell, you have to jump to get your hands up onto this windowsill to pull yourself up, and it's very cartoony, like slipping on the stones before you finally get yourself up, as you're no more than 10 feet away from the open doors that let you in. As Emma, you walk by looking at him and move up the stairs, and Ordell, when you pull yourself up in, Emma is standing there waiting for you, as Ordell's like, "Come on, let's go look at the flame." And Emma, you continue to follow behind him. There's the great brazier in the center that you all have all been around this morning but didn't think anything about it. Are you trying to find anything about them inside the brazier?
Yeah, because it was mentioned they might have like sending stones and things. So if we can find any like magical objects, things like that on their person, that would be helpful. Because even if we find one sending stone, that means we're gonna get message from the other one.
It
So
is a huge roaring fire of which you are no longer immune. You can feel the heat coming off of it. And as the fire is so big and there's so many great logs inside of it, I need both of you to roll me perception if you're trying to find something inside there.
I'm gonna use control flame and just like extinguish it around, and then go and take it. Or is there people? Oh, there's lots of people in here. I forgot about that. You know what? Ordell's gonna, cause I'll still take damage. I am resistant, so Ordell's gonna like reach in, hands in.
Okay. Emma?
Emma's not going near this flame. She knows better. Instead, she leans over to Ordell and says, "Her husband's dead. He's in my ring. Well, his skeleton's in my ring. You see, I removed his flesh and then threw it in the road. But I have his skeleton."
Why would you tell me that?
Because he's dead.
Why would you tell me?
And I needed to tell someone.
Yeah, but
Because that woman thinks he's alive and he's not.
yeah, well, for about 5 minutes I did too. As Ordell's like reaching in the fire, like moving things around, trying to find whatever he can in here.
Since you are willing to take some damage from it, go ahead and roll a investigation at advantage.
Ooh, investigation I'm not very good at, but advantage is good. Okay. Ooh! Unnatural 20.
Oh, solid.
That would be 21, but yeah.
In a brief kind of ruffle through the coals, you would have taken 14 damage, but because you still are resistant to it, you take 7 fire damage as you make a quick ruffle through the flames. In doing so, you feel a few small objects in there that feel different than the heavy coals and the hard logs. Let me see how I want to do this. Okay, actually roll me a d4 as you
4?
pull one of them out.
4.
4, solid. You pull out a small stone that is covered in ash, but you quickly just kind of wipe it on your shirt and then dust yourself off. As you take a look at it, it is a small, smooth stone, gray in nature, with runes marked into it. It's this kind of straight line, and it almost looks like a very sharp bee, I guess would be the descriptor for it, covered in a blue etching.
Sharp B, like the letter B or a bumblebee?
You could think of the Bluetooth symbol.
Oh. Yes. Amazing. Ordell's gonna kind of like hold it. What is this?
That is very clearly a bee.
Thank you. Yeah, Ordell's gonna kind of like put his ear to it, shake it around, see if he can glean anything about it.
Emma, as he shows it to you, you should be able to roll an Arcana on that, based on your warlocking nature.
Oh, 19, 23 with an 18.
You are
5.
certain of that symbol's origin. It is of a great ancient Viking known as Bluetooth, which this is not made up because that is actually where Bluetooth came from, so that is good enough lore to be in my world, who was a great warrior, but in mine, also a wizard known for his communication. This symbol was a rune that he created for sending stones, but you only have one.
I watch Ordell shake it and try and listen to it and let it go on for a couple minutes, and I'm like, it's a sending stone.
Wait, if there's only one, that means someone else has the other one, right?
Talk to them. If it's Ignis, hang up.
Okay. Do I do a voice or do I just like Hello. I have received the plan. Where are you? You can respond to this message.
Ordell,
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Natural 20.
Okay, solid. Ordell, before you begin speaking to it, you probably think it's best to trace the rune outline with your thumb, and in doing
That would
so,
be smart.
it glows
Just-
bright blue for a moment before you now realize that you are able to send a message to whoever has the other one. I need Emma and Ordell to roll a perception check for me.
I'm sending a collect call.
Mm.
Emma, please roll high.
You know what? I rolled an 8, but I'm gonna use an inspo.
Oh, okay, good. Because I rolled a 4.
Only a 14.
I did see chat request GFY for all the Bluetooth references, and I'm okay with that. 14, Emma?
14. I got nervous. I thought they were giving me a GFY.
No. As Emma, Ordell Batmans into the Bluetooth rock, which is a sentence I think is the first time anybody's ever said that sentence out loud, so I'm glad to claim that. Emma, as you listen for Ordell, you know that if there were somebody on the other end, you should be able to hear it. It creates an auditory, it's like a speaker. For real life terms that your character would understand. The sound would directly come from whatever other stone or stones are connected to this one. So whoever has it should hear it. And Ordell, you know you did it right, but you're not hearing any reply.
Ordell now, for every 6 seconds for an action, is going, reply to me. Can you hear me from here? Can you hear me if I stand here? Can you hear me if I stand here? Can you hear me if I stand here? But while also Ordell's going to listen to also doing that thing like, hey, Bluetooth, find my other rock.
You get
wow.
GFY, of course.
Wow.
I will absolutely take a GFY for that.
Emma's actively listening to the fire to see if
Roll perception
she can
again.
hear him speaking in the flames.
Can I also roll perception because I'm trying to find it?
I want you to roll me a persuasion this time, Ordell.
A persuasion?
That
Oh,
is
boy.
a 16.
16.
I'm gonna use an inspo. That's a net 1. I mean, fitting, but not much better. Oh yeah, I only have a +1. 11 total.
Sounds good. So Ordell, you're trying to convince whoever's on the other end of this stone to answer you, to reply to you, so you can find out who has it and go get it. Emma, you see Ordell walking around the room saying, is this location based? Should I try it over here? Can you hear me right this instant? Can you hear me right this instant? Bad. As he keeps going around the keep. You listen to him, but then you think you hear an echo in the large hall, but you actually just hear his voice from 2 locations. As your ear is close to the fire, you can hear something coming from inside the flame.
Ordell, the stone's in here somewhere.
I knew that as Ordell pockets it, and then or Ordell's gonna use the stone to find the other stone now at this point, just like speaking, or hands it to Emma, talking to this while I reach in the fire again.
I wonder if this would work. And Emma's gonna trace the rune and then use thaumaturgy and pretty much yell into the stone.
Ordell, go ahead and roll me an investigation at advantage as you rifle through the flame once more.
Hello?
Thank God for advantage, because boy, that was a 3, but now that is a 16.
16. You do feel the other 3 remaining small objects. You can't quite make them out. They're just in a pile of coals and ash and logs. So you still are going to have to choose one. So roll me a d6 this time.
If I can feel all 3 of them, is there any chance, Rybo, I can just beef the fire damage and just start tossing them behind me?
Yeah, if you want to just take all of them out, you could just take the extra damage from it.
Yeah, I think Ordell would take the extra damage to find whatever these are.
So you will take double. So last time it was 14 to 28, but it's half. So you've taken 21 total now. So you'll take 14 now, and that's reduced by half.
Ordell, can you hear me? Ordell.
As Ordell, you throw out You throw out 3 small chunks. Some of them are objects that have been thrown in there, one of which seems to be a sentimental pin of sorts that somebody might wear on their vest in the shape of the flame that Elijah wears and that Ignis brandished at one point. The other one is another amulet, just like what you all wore before. And then the third and final thing is a second sending stone.
Sick.
As you make lots of noise throwing these metallic things and stones off onto the marble floor, and your hands come out covered in burns and ash, but you were able to retrieve 2 sending stones. So very good.
Ordell's gonna just like extinguish his hands, kind of like give him a good wave. And then Ordell like holds the new sending stone.
I do believe we have succeeded.
Sorry, thaumaturgy was still on.
As the 2 sending stones are so close when you talk, it begins to make a sound. Yeah. As Winter and Ashern, we go to you. The 2 of you are trying to luck out and find some unloved children who have perished to vampires. So, why don't both of you roll me a investigation to see what you can find throughout the town?
I'm going to use my inspiration because I rolled a 1.
Everybody's rolling ones tonight.
Investing 21.
21, solid. Winter?
22.
22. As the 2 of you walk around the quarry town, this is the first time you think, okay, we're actually going to go down a little bit through the quarry. You haven't gotten to see Cavity as much as you've wanted to, and this is kind of your last opportunity. You've scoped out as much as you can on this kind of single layer that you've been on, so you actually take one of the steps that leads down and go a few layers down into Cavity. Because as you're walking, Ashrin, you spot something that looks to be like a small graveyard and think that that's a decent place to start. When you get there, you can see several freshly made graves have been dug. As Winter, when you approach, you ask, "What is this? What is this place?" And the kind of tender basically explains that this is for those who are not of our faith and chose not to be burned, but also chose to be here and help us. We feel that it is our duty to at least bury them as requested. Several people have been buried here. There's maybe about 2 or 3 dozen grave sites here, a lot of them freshly dug, but some of them much older here as well. Even though the grave tender seems to like nod his head disapprovingly at that idea of like, I still think they should be burned, but whatever, they helped us, we must honor their wishes. But I'm off for a break for a moment.
You look tired. I think that's a good idea.
I've been busy, very busy.
Mm.
A small tear kind of rolls down his face. Very busy as he gets up to walk away. He goes off to a nearby shack, which must be his, as he guards this grave. You can tell that this isn't a full-time job for him, as most of the people that pass here do go into the flames, but he helps on a volunteer kind of basis. As you're left in this small cemeteried plot with a lot of visibility to the rest of the town. This is not like in the back of the town. This is on one of the lower rungs. Anybody on a higher rung could see you here, but there are several dozen graves. About a dozen or so have freshly dug earth on top of them.
Ash, do you think it's more or less respectful to take the older ones or the fresher ones?
Well, okay, the thing is, also, Winter, I think you telling him he looked tired is the last thing he needed to hear, you know?
Yeah, I meant it more as you've earned a good rest and that it's a good idea for you to have a break. But yeah, I guess it did come across as you look like you have bags under your eyes.
It did. A little bit. Just a bit.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, it's fine. And we're also gonna rob some graves. It's fine. It'll be fine. We're never gonna see him again.
Yeah. What if we put money in there? Then we're not robbing them. We're buying them?
Right, because we can put a price on human bodies. They're not alive anymore. Their soul's gone. So really, right, right. I'll get a second chance at life with you.
Yeah. And they'll get to hang out with these crazy kids.
Right, right. Okay, no more hugs. No, I think
Okay.
no more. Sorry. Um,
Later.
maybe the older ones. Maybe the older ones are better because less chance of being visited, and maybe we'll see that their parents are next to them too.
Yes. Okay. I'd like to go and look at the gravestones. The old, not the freshly buried dead,
I
but
hate
the
to have to ask this question, but Winter,
Mhm.
are you looking for smaller graves?
No. We're looking for. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the headstones,
Oh,
or are they just graves?
Most of them are various religious symbols.
Mhm.
No headstones that say, he was beloved. Yada. It's mostly symbols to various religions. That being said, if you want to focus on specific religions and say, you know what, I bet they make good soldiers, you could do that, and we could just really be a very controversial episode as a whole. But
I'm just.
I want to leave that decision up to you.
I know. I'm just digging myself in real deep here, aren't I?
Digging your own grave, as it were.
Yeah, but what size?
Right to heck. Mhm.
Straight to heck.
No, the family doesn't have to, they don't all have to be children.
It's not like they're gonna exhume the bodies anymore. They already had the burials. They already,
Yeah, yeah. I do have to ask them as well, because Emma has told me that I should ask to make sure they're okay with us using their body. I'm trying to do this, in the most respectful way.
Right.
And then I'm
Sounds like
gonna
it.
I'm I'm gonna go to the closest one. We don't want to go into the fresh graves. We want to go towards
Go to the older ones.
older ones.
Got it. So, Winter, if you're just going to go to the 4 closest to you, good to know. You approach the first 4 graves right in front of you. 2 of them are very close together, as are another 2. They seem to be in pairs. So, you might be digging up 2 loved ones on each set.
Twins.
It'd be really cute.
I mean, twins would be extra creepy. Like, I think if we were going for terrifying our enemies, then twins would do it.
And
Dead twin children would do it, yeah.
they both have a chance at life again together.
Oh, you wouldn't want to just take one of them.
No, you have to get both. It's like when you find a dog and they're the same.
You adopt together. Yes. This is fine.
This is an apt analogy. As Winter kneels down in front of the first 2 graves, this is fun. Winter, how do you want to go about retrieving these corpses?
So I'm very visible, is what I've heard.
You haven't told me you're doing anything to the contrary, so yes,
No.
you currently lean down in front of the 2 frontmost graves in the graveyard here in a very visible location.
Yes. I'm not a very stealthy wizard. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start digging.
Okay. You find a small spade off to the side. Go grab it and begin to break earth. You keep going. You're not very strong. Ashrin, do you help out with this at all?
Yep.
Good, as you would. So,
what have I done to you, Ashrin?
This is Jackie speaking. You promised me it wouldn't be, or you promised Ashrin it wouldn't be a repeat of the cave. So, you're still her best friend, so she's still down for you.
If your best friend asks you to dig up graves with them, then of course you say yes.
Ashrin's ride or die.
Best friend.
Yeah. So we'll actually come back to you 2 in a bit. As Emma Ordell, you've gathered all your materials. Elijah comes with his sheathed bastard sword, and Ritter has all of his materials ready to go, bow strung and ready for a long journey. Packs made with rations in them. Are you ready to go? I think I saw the other ladies going somewhere into town. We can just grab them along the way.
Yes, but I'll need to check in with someone as he pulls up the stone.
This is Flame Baby to Bone Queen. Do you copy, Bone Queen? This is Bone Queen. Coming back. I can't. Copy loud and clear. Something, numbers and stuff.
Yeah, we're good. Zordell starts walking past him.
I have a devil and an angel on my shoulder. One says GFY, one says inspo, but I actually like what Boba Keen said, and both, because I both loved and hate that.
Honestly, fair.
So Emma, you get one, and Ordell, you get one. Just a quick reminder, Emma and Winter, you're both at 9 GFYs. And this season, we're doing very bad things happen to individuals with the 10 GFYs. So very excited for who's going to be the first one on that one. And remember, guys, if you do a good enough puns in the comments, you can choose who gets GFYs. Just keep that in mind.
Make sure it's Winter.
Also, I want to let it be known to chat. Because of the drawings and the little things, Ordell is still banking a lot of inspos.
Because I roll like dog shit, Winter still only has 5.
Winter uses all hers, yeah. Right. So as Emma and Ordell both go, yeah, we're good to go, and begin walking out after talking through their stones, you can hear Elijah like, oh, I guess it's good that you got that. We should chase him as he talks to Ritters. They both kind of do that. Like, oh, I'm kind of running, but not running to catch up to you. Leaving the good people here in this keep defend for themselves. Whether that's a good idea or not, only time will be able to tell. They have all the provisions. They have the mason here to help build the wall. We shall see when we return to Cavity what happens. But as the 4 of you are walking through town, I need everybody to roll a perception. Not Winter, not Ashran.
No.
That's an 11.
That is a 5. And I have a
We're
+4,
still
so
on
I'm
the
not going to
thing.
answer what -4 is 5. I will not say, but I will tell you it's critical.
The 4 of you are deep in conversation, saying, oh, okay, so if we are going to go to the home of the unwilling, that's where you want to go first, yes, Emma?
I'm just saying, if we go there, we can ask for help. And I'm sure they will tell me yes, that they will send their best warriors with us to help rid the world of vampires.
I would hope nothing less. We
The
are
only thing, though, is Elijah, are they going to be happy to see you?
I don't see why they wouldn't be. I've never done anything.
You've never tried to burn them, anything like that?
No, I told you they're not a part of the plague that Koracrusha
No.
spread.
What if we also went to Koracrusha and asked for help in the fight against Ignis?
I don't think that we should do that for quite literally thousands of reasons.
Can you give me one?
They are my sworn enemy. They have caused
okay.
untold death upon the land. All of this, so he kind of gestures at the land as all, is their fault. Or just to name a few, they worship a demon god of undeath. They caused you and this unwilling's suffering that they have, and he just kind of keeps prattling on about why they're horrible people.
Emma's about to be like, well, if you knew who I worship, we probably wouldn't be friends, but you know.
Do you say that?
Yeah, actually.
Who do you worship?
Well, I worship a god of death, but at least it's not undeath.
I'm not
But
stupid. I know names. So, which god?
It's Michael.
I don't know that god.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Hold on. I don't know it offhand, but I keep an index. As he pulls out his small tome, he goes, I keep notes from things I've heard. Let me see. Michael.
Ordell is currently beatboxing into his sending stone to Emma.
So just god of death then? That's it? Death?
Yeah,
Death is good. I'm fine
we'll
with
leave
death.
that
Death is
there.
final, finished, finite. There's no... Death is fine. It's undeath that spreads disease that I don't like. Even winter, hers is... It's not for a god or any religious reasons. Hers is to help her accomplish a goal. I don't particularly love it, but if it's on my side, it's a necessary evil, and then hopefully when this is all done, I can preach to her, teach her the errors of that ways, and then she'll just stop.
I can tell you that's probably not going to work well for you on that, but what I can say is the unwilling is something we should absolutely do, just for the sole fact that they will absolutely say yes and send their best warriors with me, because who can say no to this? And him
She is
gestures toward me.
persuasive.
I'm not disregarding that. I just don't think we're going to go do anything with Cora Crucia. And if we do go off to the east, we are going to go by Arkerova, which is by the Unwilling area. If we're going to go to that Cloudmaker first, it's a dangerous area. We'll just have to... Hopefully they do give us the warriors, is all I'm saying. But I think I could convert Winter if... I think she would see the error of her ways. But again,
I think-
necessary evil as like... As he's saying that, Ritter says, I think I found the rest of the ladies. He nods down as Winter, you throw the final bit of dirt off, and Neil, covered in dirt, hands up, just kind of yell, I got it! Ah! As you all can now see Winter and Ashrin with mounds of dirt behind them and shovels in hand as they have dug up 2 graves to the wooden coffins that are inside of them.
Have you two been busy at work? And as
Ooh,
Emma
you
is-
are like hundreds of yards away.
Oh, okay,
You just
never
see them.
I see you.
Winter and Ashrin, you get to your coffins.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the wood and inspect what's inside.
Both of them seem to be nailed shut. Go ahead and roll me a strength roll to see if you can open them. Do you have a crowbar or anything that might make this easier? I don't think... Ashrin, your
Okay.
pack may have come with one, but Winter's
I was
probably...
gonna say Ordell has one.
I could burn it.
Do you?
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Winter's unboxing video. We're gonna start with fire.
No, I don't. I have unidentified item 3.
Not a problem. You can
But I
attempt to
don't
open it
think
up.
that was-
Do you try and pry the lid off?
Yeah, at first I'm gonna try and pry the lid off.
Okay.
I don't have a crowbar. For some reason I have a javelin and a longsword.
I wouldn't say that those would help you without risk of breaking them, but you could use those if you are okay with the possibility of them breaking.
Right. I will assist Winter instead.
Okay. Then both of you roll me athletics.
I am a strong wizard.
We are
Um,
strong. Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Yes, we
3.
15.
3 is in 30, Winter? Or 13? Or just 3?
Wait, it's actually 2. I thought I had +1 in athletics, but I don't.
Oh,
It's
athletics?
2.
Yeah,
it's
athletics.
2.
Oh, it's still 15.
15. Okay. Winter, you pull on
Little
one
arms.
end of it, and the best you do is put a few splinters in your hand before Ashrin, you kind of roll your eyes and quickly pull, and you feel one nail undo itself, and kind of in a chain reaction, the momentum of it helps pull the rest of it off. And when you do so, a foul, fetid smell comes out of the inside of the coffin, and dust pours upwards and outwards. Whatever's been in here has been dead for quite some time.
Is there any flesh on the body at all?
Ashrin, you throw the lid off. This is a skeletal remains. It also has 2 rings and a necklace on that haven't decayed with time.
I'm gonna pull out my book and I'm gonna write, dear. Can I tell if it's a man or a woman or a child or
Go ahead and roll me
an
a
adult?
medicine check.
Can I cast detect magic?
Yeah, do
21.
you want to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you look into this grave, Winter's kind of observing the corpse, but you take the time instead. All of the other people on the top of the hill are like, wait, what are they doing? As Ashton throws up a cloud of red mist over this graveyard. Winter pulls up the shoulders of the corpse and just kind of to inspect it to make sure it's a good solid skeleton there. Winter, you've identified this to definitely be a elvish or half elven, just from its height and the kind of tapered, really fine-pointed jawbone to it. So this is definitely elvish, and you can imagine the one next to it will probably be the same. Ashrin, as you throw up your detect magic, you don't get any pings or anything that connects to your detect magic on any of these. However, nearby in another grave, not the other 2 you were going to dig up, but a singular grave, you do detect magic inside of there.
Winter. These may look pretty. However, I think in another grave there's something magical. Oh, that one right
Oh,
there.
The
do
magic...
you want to go?
What does the tombstone say? Like, is it close enough for me to read the tombstone?
This one doesn't have any sort of markings. The other 2 seem to have had old markings that seem to worship the arcane in some way. However, the one that you're looking over seems to be just a straight unmarked grave. However, with your detect magic, as you throw it up in the air, it kind of creates the traces and the tracks on the ground that seem to be seeping up. General magical essence seems to be coming from inside this. It's red in nature, very, very bright red. So you can tell this is some sort of evocation magic down within this grave.
Oh, Winter. Looks like it's evocation over there.
Oh, that's super interesting. Do you want to go dig that one up while I talk to these guys?
Yeah. I'll do that.
Okay. Because I can bring I can bring 4 people along with us to add to the family.
Okay, and on top of that, that grave is unmarked. Clearly, no one will miss them.
Very ethically thinking. They're wise words, Ashrin. Well done. I think we're doing a great job at this.
Elijah
Wonderful.
has started running off. Oh my God, what are they doing? As he is running very quickly to go get to them as Winter and Ashrin. Ashrin, you're going to go dig up that other grave. And Winter, you're going to pick one more, correct?
I was grabbing out my book
Oh, going to talk to
to
them.
to talk to them. Hello, wonderful specimens. I was wondering if you would be interested in giving up your body for the purposes of necrotic science and to protect the world for the greater good.
Being that that's the way
Too
you word
long
it.
didn't read. Can I resurrect? Can I animate your corpse?
Oh, you're playing with fire with
Exo.
your 9 GFYs. We'll leave that one.
XOXO Necro Girl.
As the way you worded that, being that these 2 had symbols of an arcane religion, you, with your original wording, say for science, and you get a reply, of course, for science, from the first one.
Very good. And then I'm going to assume that the other one's also cool with it. Because I need to save my spell slots. I'll ask them for confirmation later. But I yell out to Ashrin, they're cool with it.
I'm already like digging the dirt. Great.
As
Thumbs up.
Elijah is kind of jogging down to there, Emma or Del Ritter, are you going down at all, or just letting Elijah go find them? Emma's running, or Del?
I think with the Nat 1, Ordell is still playing with the sending stone and then like stops in the area and he's like doing like something and then looks up and sees everyone's gone and then he sees them and just runs, but he's
Okay.
well behind everyone.
Good. So everybody's on their way. There's the other coffin, which with Ashrin helping with the first one, we'll say that you're able to get this other one off, not a problem. Ashrin, you've been digging for this mystery grave, correct?
Yes.
This time when your shovel hits ground, you actually hear a plink that signals that this isn't wood so much as it is stone for this coffin. And as you you wipe the rest of the dust off and away, finding a a stone coffin, not like a above ground one, but buried deep in the earth. This one seems to have been here for some time.
Right? I yelled at Winter. It's really unloved, really old.
I'm sure that they're gonna love being a part of this strange family. I'm gonna get the kids to work on opening this one up, and I can come and help you.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna get the children to open the other coffin.
With the 5 of you, it wouldn't be much of a problem. Mostly it's the kids doing the work as they pull off the other coffin lid. This one seems to be wearing a ring very similar to the other corpse on their left hand. You can tell now, seeing them side by side, they appear to be wedding bands, but it doesn't have the necklace or the other ring that the other one does. So they do seem to have been married once upon a time.
And they will be again. The next beach episode will be the corpse bride.
A lot less pleasant.
Hey. And then I'm gonna go and try and help Ashrin.
Ashrin, what languages do you read?
Abyssal. Why do I know? Common and Elvish.
In Abyssal, on this stone coffin,
Dig it up.
it reads Ermery Scarsmith.
Ermery Scarsmith.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
ERMRY Scarsmith, says chat right over there.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Ermery, thank you for your donation.
At about this time, once Winter's opened up the second thing, everyone kind of runs and approaches as Elijah says, "What are you doing?"
Have you two been hard at work digging up graves?
No, don't say this like it's a good thing. What are you doing here?
Emma's gonna boop Winter on the nose and cast prestidigitation and clean her up, and then come
thank
over
you.
to Ashrin and go to do the same.
Thank you. Very sweaty.
We asked, and they said that they were happy to donate their bodies to science.
Did you forget they speak to the dead?
Wait, really?
Mhm.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh man.
Hold on before you say it. Emma looks over to Elijah and says, "Yes, I actually, being an undead myself, I asked Winter to make sure that she asks if she can use bodies before she uses them, out of respect for the dead."
Oh, good. Go ahead and roll me a deception then, to see if you can help her out.
No, he did.
No,
We
did
we
he
had that
specifically?
conversation
Okay,
many
gotcha.
times. Yeah.
Then yeah,
There's a whole
you have
thing.
advantage on it.
Okay. I'm gonna take the first one, which was a 14.
Total.
Yep.
Elijah says, "They're not even moving. I know you didn't talk to them. Not like those kids. That's one thing. You're digging in the town graveyard. People can see we saw."
Yeah. I've seen you burn people.
And they didn't talk to me when I did it.
But if they could.
So isn't what I'm doing nicer?
But you didn't speak to them. They're not moving.
No, look. And I show the book, and he can't see anything.
Roll a persuasion. Oh, yeah, it did, because it disappears, correct?
It disappears.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot we made that with the
See?
mitigator. See.
Well, I write in the book, and then they write back to me. And I said, would you be happy to donate your body to science? And then this lovely individual here said, yes, for science. But then it went away. But it did happen.
We'll just do it again then. Let me see.
Well, I can only use that once a day.
Is this
And
true,
The
Ashran?
book gets tired.
As you're like on your knees down in the hole with the stone coffin beneath you. Is this true?
Mm-hmm.
You're so convincing.
I was gonna say Emma's standing behind Elijah now, and she's gonna cast message to Winter. I'm gonna distract him. You do what you need to. Emma's gonna like move backwards and then just fall to the ground. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Roll
Which
a,
Ordell running up with a nat 1 trips over Emma and just eats it on the ground. And actually
Ordell-
goes, ah!
Ordell, Emma, and Winter all fall into the coffin of the second corpse as the bones go flying upwards. And Emma, you're not entirely sure what's your bone or this corpse's at one point.
Flame baby, the bone queen. I'm down. I'm down.
My bones!
Which one's mine? Wait. What?
Children, help Auntie Ashran. I send the kids over to.
Ritter goes over to hold his hand out to help one of you up. Who reaches for his hand first?
Emma's gonna hold up an arm of the person who's in this grave.
Ritter swats the hand away and he says, "Have some respect. We're about to leave. You're going to find many corpses on you. Had to do that here."
Oh,
Ordell lowers the other hand he was going to do the same bit to and just drops it behind him.
This Ritter
I-
turns and walks away,
Well,
leaving
I
you all
thought
in a
I-
pit.
okay.
Elijah kind of gets over towards the grave where Ashran is and says, "I don't know your friend and her ways with necromancy. Is this true and is it necessary? If it is, I can talk to the people, make sure that they're okay with this. But if it's not, I'm gonna ask that you respectfully put the coffins back."
Yes, it is necessary. This is part of her study.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion. Because that's not necessarily a lie.
It's 100% true.
Dicey encounters!
Don't put that on me.
Are you sure? Because it was a natural 20.
Go buy Dicey Encounters dice.
Elijah says, "Okay, but these, no more. Just, I'm gonna go talk to the people.
Right.
I'm surprised the tender wasn't here. I thought he would be busy."
He went to have a nap. He was very tired.
Oh, so
But
you
he
asked
looked
him.
great. I
You talked
said
to
he
him,
should have a
yes.
nap. We did talk to him, yep. We
Good.
talked to him.
Oh, I'm sure it's all straightened away then. I won't clarify anything.
Oh.
The town will be fine.
Well, it couldn't hurt for you to just have a chat to the town. He was very sleepy.
I see. All right, I'll talk to him. As Elijah kind of dusts off of his knee guards and goes to talk to the grave tender as Ashran, you stare down and look at Emery Scarsmith. I need to write it down.
I'm just immediately as he turns around. Children, I need your help. I need your help now.
Go, children.
As they kind of waddle their way over like moody teenagers that don't want to help, as they hop down into the hole with you and look at you for command. Do you help them try and lift this?
Yes. Oh, yes, of course.
Athletics check, please.
Athletic.
This will actually take all of you, being this is a heavy stone lid.
Do you want me to roll for the children?
You roll 2, I'll roll 2.
14.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh. They also no, they don't get any extra to strength. It's just 2 attacks.
Yeah.
18 and 14.
Solid. With my 12 and 8, that's enough to beat the 50 required. As with the help of the undead children, you pull off this heavy, heavy stone lid. It's deceptively thick. Whoever this was commissioned a very ornate stone coffin. And as you pull it off and kind of throw it to the side to where you're going to be able to throw it back down onto this thing when you're done, a similar kind of dust cloud puffs out of this thing as you see inside a corpse. Not terribly unlike Emma's, with a long tail, with a bony tip and horns that are, where Emma's are kind of glowing and brown, that are black and much more ram-like, that go into the skull. There is a robe that was once worn, and your kind of traces of magic seem to pull themselves down towards this small golden ring on its pointer finger in the right hand.
Bay?
I'm gonna walk over and speak with Dead. Cast Speak with Dead.
I'll say hold on one second because Ashram was going to do something first.
Nope, that's a good idea first. I will.
Okay.
I was about to reach for it, but that's a good idea.
Okay.
Remember, Ashrin, we always have to ask.
Correct. How can I forget?
Except this other
And
one
I
that I'm
wink.
just assuming, but this one we'll ask.
I'm winking at at Emma.
Emma's like crawling out of this grave to come over to look at this new one.
Ordell grabs Emma's leg, pulls her back down, and then comes out.
Another
But then helps Emma out.
bunch of bones go flying upwards. As Winter, you pull out your book and begin chanting and making runes in the ground before casting Speak with the Dead, as out of your fingers kind of purplish and green energy flow inward towards the bones and seem to seep into the very marrow of this creature as it pulls itself upwards. Its legs don't seem to move, but its entire upper torso leans upwards and looks up at you with open eyes and a skull mimicking Emma's without the flames on the inside. Its heavy, dark horns stand in huge contrast to the bright white bones that haven't aged inside this stone coffin.
Good morning, Emery.
Kind of looks around and down at itself and at its hands, seemingly enamored with its dead appearance.
We were just wondering if perhaps it would be okay with you if we used your body to help fight a terrible, terrible evil that has besearched this land.
It depends who the evil is.
A very, very nasty vampire called Ignis.
Ignis?
He's trying. Yeah. Do you
Use
know?
my corpse for whatever you need.
Hey gang. Emery knows about Ignis. And we got another 4 questions for you, lady. Thank you so much for your sacrifice.
You have 3, because you did ask, hey, can we have this help on the bid person? And then, yeah. So you got 3.
Yeah.
left.
Okay, we have 3. We have 3. We have 3 things that we can ask of Emery.
I think what they know about Ignis is a pretty good one.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's good thinking, Ashrin.
Emma's gonna do a nice like baseball slide into like paint me like one of your French girls kind of pose, looking at this undead tiefling.
Oh, it's a hunk of a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, this is gonna be awkward on the road. Emery, could you tell us what you know of Ignis? Please.
I can tell you a bit. I was hired by Ignis to come here and help build a great many mechanical structure for him. But then he took my notes from me.
Oh, should we ask about how we can shut down the weather stations?
Mm-hmm.
Emery, is there, what's the best way for us to shut down the weather stations, the cloud makers?
He made them. I thought it was just a theoretical exercise. He really made them. If he made them the way I designed them, then you need oil, a great deal of oil. They run on fire and create plumes of smoke, overload the engines, or find some way to topple them. They float in the sky and cannot support their own weight.
Oh. We have one left, everyone.
Emma's gonna immediately stop and look back at Elijah. See, had they have not done this, you would have no extra information on what we would be doing.
Elijah's gone, right?
Yeah, Elijah's gone from here.
Emma's just saying this to the air then. And
You
you owe
would-
her an apology.
Oh, he's not here. Do you think he'll be back within the 10 minutes? Because it'd be really good for him to see this. I don't ask that to Emery.
It would be good.
Ordell, run and get Elijah. Run as fast as you can.
I don't remember where he went as Ordell just starts running.
Ordell runs off like to the northern pathway as Ritter just, and he goes and knocks on the door right nearby because that's where the tender's house was. But you see Ordell sprinting off around, Elijah, on this level as Ritter says,
Elijah may be missing. Come back. Come back. No, I will find Elijah myself. Don't you worry, Bone Queen. Flame Baby is on a mission.
Move, chickens! As Ordell runs and jumps over some animals and runs.
Emma's just gonna pat the stone and put it back in her pocket.
As Ritter leaves the door, you can see Elijah quickly bow and give some great apology as he closes the door behind. He sighs as he looks over, walking over and says,
Firstly,
Okay,
before
you
you
weren't
say
lying.
anything, Elijah, you owe her an apology because we found out some information. Winter, do tell.
Oh no, my short-term memory loss.
Astrid,
Don't do it.
tell.
Can you do a recap of
Famine?
what's happened for Elijah, Brie?
Elijah?
Okay, so we awakened Emery, and she knows they know. I don't know. I didn't ask if they were.
Very, very masculine energy. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, they know that. I just assume, they know that that Ignis is a very no good bad person, and also they know about the machines. It was actually Emery's inventions that Ignis has stolen. Now that's actually stealing. Don't think he asked Emery if he could have those.
Elijah looks down to Emery and says, so you made the machines.
No, Elijah. It only works if I ask. No. Emery didn't make the machines. It was the machines. It was Emery's designs. They thought that it was a thought exercise, but I'm guessing that Ignis stole them and then Emery. We have one more question, but we need to use it wisely. Emery has told us how we can foil the big floating cloud machines by stocking them full of oil. So we have one more thing that we can ask, and then Emery is going to join us on this quest. But it won't really be Emery's. I mean, we could probably keep asking questions to Emery if we take them along with us. No, we can't, because they'll be undead then.
Maybe one day I can actually resurrect them. Who knows?
I don't understand how this works, but bottom line, we have another question to ask.
Yeah. Oh, also, side note, perhaps Emery, if you were willing, you could come inside. You could come inside. You could come inside Emma's ring, and
Emma nods furiously.
and then we could ask you questions. Maybe it's better for you to travel with us, and perhaps there is a way that Emma we can bring Emery back for good.
Emery did say to do whatever with his corpse, their corpse.
I
that he
would
wanted.
I would say Emery's body would probably be more of a benefit not being in battles or things like that, but safer in the ring.
Yes.
Where we could constantly ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only reason I want that.
Winter looks at Emma really. I feel like I should ask Emery if they want to be in your ring at this point. Remember, consent is important, Emma. And then, okay, so one last question.
Just while y'all are thinking the question, Jakey, I don't know if you need to do drawings of what's happening here tonight.
Oh, I'm absolutely drawing
Okay,
something
good.
right
Yeah,
now.
okay, that's
I've got a
That was
couple
my
good,
worry.
good drawings. I've definitely got one right now that is a very thirsty Emma. She let's just put it that way. Because there's so little water here, and
Emma's
we're
just
gonna
Been 800.
How's it going, Emery?
I was gonna say, if I may remind everyone, when I was Emma, I established a canon that Emma's a little freaky, and Emma is a generous partner, and as was Spade, that is canonical now.
Yes.
As Rybo put heavy emphasis on the things you say as your character are going to be canon.
Oh, they're canon.
I feel like I should have done more to sort out.
There may be other opportunities for swapping characters. Who knows?
So, in conclusion, we have one more question we can ask Emery.
Again, Emery said we can do whatever we want with the corpse in order to defeat Ignis. If that means taking Emery with us, that falls into my category.
Emma gestures and nods furiously.
I'm feeling a blanket GFY coming soon.
That wouldn't specifically be applied to me, right?
Jakey, don't look like that. You're making lewd art.
You're making smut, Jakey.
It's not smut. It's comedy.
It's suggestive.
Leaves a lot to the imagination.
This is going to take a few chapters to explore.
Elijah says, well, anything that could help us in the fight against Ignis would be a good question to ask.
Oh, Emery, can you tell us anything that would help us in the fight towards Ignis?
Ignis is very reliant on these cloud makers. As a vampire, he cannot be out in the sun.
Oh.
Falls back
Oh.
into the stone coffin.
I look immediately to Emma. Emma, can you be trusted?
Keep your hands to yourself as I go down and I get the ring. I just pick it.
Ashrin, as you pick it up, it is noticeably a smooth golden ring, purely a circle. There's no gemstone in it whatsoever, though written in abyssal on the bottom is Emery's name. It also says, "My final gift," written in abyssal. So you can add Emery's golden ring to your inventory.
Not putting it on yet. Just gonna keep it near me.
Emma is gently lifting the body, looking at everyone, nodding, and into the ring.
As that seems like a solid place to pause, it is 8:09. Why don't we take a 6-minute break? We'll come back at 8:15. If you haven't entered yet, make sure you do for the giveaway because we have a token coming up soon that will be great. So about a 5-6 minute break and we'll be right back, everybody. So make sure you enter. BRB, and we can go clear our consciences.
At least there are no more children.
Welcome back to the Red Wagon Inn. So excited to have you. If you didn't enter the giveaway, it's too late. Drew, go ahead and hit that giveaway to see who won, and then we get to tell them what they want. Oh, Verity wins. Hey, Verity is always a good participant. So, matter of fact, congratulations, Verity. You know what? Because you always participate and that this is a token prize, I'll actually give you 2 of these for all that you do in relation to helping things out. So congratulations, Verity. Your token, we'll just go ahead and call it, it was exactly what was described earlier, but since we're calling it this now, it's going to be the baby inspiration. You can force everybody who's doing a reroll or everybody who's doing something to reroll. So you got 2 of those. You can say, I want to use a baby inspiration for everybody who's currently doing a roll to reroll, completely possibly changing the outcome of something. So whether that's initiative, whatever you want to do, fantastic. You've got 2 baby inspirations, Verity. Thank you for all that you do as far as recaps. Anywho, let's jump right back into it as Emma disappeared into the ring and quickly reappears back out. Sans Emery Stormscar. Scarsmith, sorry. Emery Scarsmith.
Emma just on an apple rubs it on it as it just turns to ash on the coat, but
Ashrin, you have the ring still in your hand. Elijah says, okay. We're going to use Emery. They said that they're okay with helping us. Sorry, I just have to say this out loud to rationalize it in my head. This feels so wrong.
no, it's definitely right.
I think we should just leave this grave open. I think that we should intend to bring Emery back here when we're done with everything, and then we'll dig it there. But it should be waiting. Otherwise, it feels wrong to just close it up. That would feel so final.
Well, when we defeat Ignis, we bring down the machines, and we can go right back to where they were resting.
Could this
Or we
be a
could
tripping
bring-
hazard?
I think it would be fine, though. Nobody really comes to this graveyard. But once we're done, there will be no more need for this necromancy business. As he pats like a shoulder on to Winter, or pats his hand on Winter's shoulder and says, "But if you've got all you need, then we can get moving, right?"
Well, I mean, I'm 1 corpse down, but
Oh, sorry about that.
I guess that I could just take 2 today, and then maybe we'll find some more on the way.
Here, you know what? And Emma's gonna back into the ring and back out with the body of the father.
Hey,
Oh.
I have a spare. If
you said
need.
you
Emma
skinned
replaced a
him.
father for a daddy.
You said you skinned him, so another skeletal remain comes out. This one's still with bits of flesh and muscle attached to this skeleton as you bring it out. Elijah kind of...
Oh, so sorry. Emma's gonna like blow on the skeleton using prestidigitation to get the remaining bits off the skeleton.
It's better, I guess. It's the smell of it. You're okay with that being in there? Okay, I guess you don't have a nose.
Oh, here. And Emma again is gonna use prestidigitation to make it smell like lilac and lavender under his nose.
Yeah. Well,
That's
let's
much
bundle
better.
them all together. Children, you can help. They're going to join the family now. And then I'm going to, when they're all in one space, I'm going to generate the red energy, pulling the dirt from their graves and spinning it around, and then engulfing the 3 corpses or the 3 skeletons with green necrotic energy. And I will welcome them
So,
to the family.
correct me if I'm wrong, because we looked at this last time. To make all 3 of them, you're either going to do 2 3rd-level slots or a 4th level, correct?
So I get 1 extra one from
Being a necromancer.
being a
That's
necromancer.
on every time that you cast.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get 2 from a 3rd level, or it's
Yes.
either 3 or 4 from a 4th.
And it will be, so I can technically do 4 from the 4th level, but
Mhm.
I only have 3 bodies.
Oh, darn.
What are you going to do?
So you're going to do the 4th level slot then?
I'll do the 4th level slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at some point you'll have to re-up the other ones, but for now,
I did that when I dressed the children.
okay, great.
Yeah.
So you've used a 3rd on them and now a 4th. Just making sure we keep track of those. I'll trust you to kind of do that, but anytime we do a new one, I just want to at least know where those come from.
So for those playing at home, I have 1 3rd level spell slot left.
As winter, the dirt begins to kind of move upwards. Some of the home dirt where these things were made, being that they were elvish, they seem to have been buried with some small weaponry, both short swords and bows. As you now have 4 zombie creatures and 3 skeletal creatures as far as stat blocks are concerned. But for chat to know, so that you're not worried about this, like just taking over action economy, Brie and I are going to work on, you're basically going to have 2 stat blocks. So it'll function as 2 creatures that the health will just increase the more zombies or the more skeletons they get, and the overall number of like d20s that Brie will roll. That way it doesn't take up a ton of time as far as like controlling them on the battlefield or anything. So that'll be they're going to be treated as like blobs of skeleton and a blob of zombies. So you got 3 skeletons, 4 zombies now. As
All the zombies are children and all the skeletons are adults.
it's easy to keep it that way. Let's keep it going like that throughout the whole series. As
It's like all cats are girls and all dogs are boys. All skeletons are adults and all zombies are children.
That's how it works. As the elvish skeletons and the man from before rise up, the elvish skeletons still have the rings on them and the necklace, because we haven't been told that they're taken off, so they still are looking pretty nice as they pull their weaponry and stand resolute, as tall as Emma nearby. If it weren't for Emma's clothes, she would start to blend in with the skeletons and zombies that are nearby, but the clothes and the tattoos do make you stand apart from the crowd, Emma.
This is what it's going to be like in the city of Unwilling.
I didn't even need to dress them up because we're going to the Unwilling City.
Well, I mean,
They'll fit right in.
Unwilling still wear clothes.
Oh, all of you? Because
Again,
sometimes
I'm
you're
not an
pretty
Unwilling.
naked.
Again, I'm not an Unwilling. I not of the. It's hard to explain, but yes, the sentient Unwilling who came back and didn't go crazy. Most of them wear clothes most of the time.
So when
I
you're
mean-
naked, Emma, that's just a you thing.
I mean, others might do it as well.
Personal choice, then. Ritter joins in.
Sometimes it's nice to be naked. What can I say?
I agree. But now is the time to get moving.
We get Ashton. As he says, I agree.
As Elijah says, I agree. You're like, yeah, look at Elijah
I
with
thought it
his handlebar mustache. And isn't that
Thought it was
exactly what you want? As Elijah says, I agree. Sometimes it's nice. But I think it's time to head out.
Elijah, would you like us to leave these graves open as well?
Of course, we'll return them all when they're done.
Of course.
There is a valid point of they might not make it back if we get into battle.
Well, they're definitely not going to come back into their graves if we close them up. So let's just leave them, because we're going to assume we're going to do right by their bodies and bring them back.
To reiterate, I did ask.
Ordell arrives and goes, I found Elijah! As he falls through one of the holes that was left open.
Tripping hazard, we told you.
Don't make me cast levitate again.
It's fine, I can climb good.
Ordell climbs back out, covered in the spider webs and dust from the inside of a coffin. I still think nobody's going to use this area, hopefully, so I say we should leave it. I think it's the right thing to do. We're going to bring them back, right, Winter?
Sure.
Most of them.
Good. All of them, Emma, all of them. You would want to be with them.
Emery might not. I would like to try and at least one day resurrect. I think that would be nifty.
If he agrees to it.
See if
I
they
mean,
don't
it
mind.
depends.
Might not come
It
back.
depends what, just like we spoke the other day about what we wanted to happen to our bodies in death, I will reconfer with possibly these individuals and see if they want to come back or not. They may not. They may enjoy adventuring with us.
Okay. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Let's go topple some towers!
As Emma begins to lead the group back up towards the main gateway that would lead out of Cavity. Is everybody going with?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. This posse of 7 people and 7 undead walking up towards the gateway. There's a few people that come up to speak to Elijah in a hushed tone before you can hear Elijah say, "Don't talk to Trevor, he knows," before Elijah goes to the gate, as you see several of them go walk down towards the grave tender's house to ask basically what's going on. The doors are quickly opened. Some of the makeshift, almost Minutemen style people that are there open up the gateway and give Elijah a salute and kind of hold their hands up in the similar way that he does. Elijah takes his glove off and holds his fist up before them, showing his symbol. They all kind of nod before him. The mason that you saw before is already hard at work trying to lay stone here to create a full barrier here. He's got several other people bringing stone to him as he's making all of the kind of spackle and things that hold stone walls like this in shape. As Elijah leaves, he throws on a kind of warm, heavy coat that goes over, much like the ones that the children were wearing. But as you all leave this, excuse me, this garrison and the doors shut behind you, the heat and the warmth from the hot springs of Cavity and whatever magic keeps this area so warm immediately fades as you feel and hear the first of the snow beneath your feet. It is cold. Ordell, you will be able to keep pretty warm, and you'll probably be able to focus when everybody is in one stationary place on keeping other people warm as well. But with just the wind of the snow, it's going to be hard for others to keep themselves warm without trying to do something about that. You can make some active effort to do it, but it may cause even, like making your flames brighter to keep everybody warm will exhaust you after some time.
I was going to say, I was going to for at least 10 feet. I can't probably do everybody, but I can do produce flame. So I can hold a fireball that will be 10 foot of dim light. So I'm assuming, it's 10 foot of dim, bright light and 10 foot of dim. So I'm assuming the first 10 feet is like warm enough. So Ordell's just going to, basically keep his like hand on fire and like a big old bonfire.
You'll probably be able to keep people warm then, unless a storm comes through, in which case that probably won't be enough heat. But if you have that, then yeah, it will definitely help with traveling for people like Winter, who doesn't have any winter clothes, and Ashrin, who also doesn't have any winter clothes, to my knowledge. Perfect. As you all exit the doors,
children,
the children, they're warm. And the skeletons, they don't need it. You could begin to see icicles forming between their ribs. You're flaming on the inside. There's no icicles that could possibly stick there.
I'm also wearing a winter coat.
You stole Winter's coat from her?
Yeah.
As Ritter and Elijah kind of speak briefly before kind of deciding which way they want to go about it. But Ritter says, so you definitely want to stop at the Unwilling Stronghold first, correct?
Yes.
All right, then.
We can get help from them.
It's going to be a long trip, probably about a week, and we are going to have to go past the Bloodstock, so we're going to need to be stealthy. We're going to take a northern route, and he pulls out the map for you all to see. Let me make it a little bit bigger so everybody in chat can see it once again.
Emma looks back to Ashrin when Bloodstocks are mentioned and just twiddles her fingers a little bit.
As... Oh, go ahead.
I'll behave this time, okay? Thank you.
No judgment. In fact, I was the one that told you to do it, and you did it.
Last time I listened to you.
As Ritter points out the path that he thinks that we all should take, he shows where Cavity is, right above the Bloodstocks. Says we're going to go very close to Crystal Hollow and then get to Wimburn, which is the location of the Unwilling Stronghold. So, Ritter and Elijah are happy to lead the way if you all want to follow their lead.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Emma will probably be in the back. And occasionally just call through.
Bone Queen to Flame Baby. Flame Baby, here's your Bone Queen. It's looking pretty nice back here, pretty cold. How's it up front? I literally can see nothing. It is cold. Roger that.
And that is every, 10 minutes. Ordell does stand by Winter, though, and, kind of holds his flame, or Brian. So I can't give you, a piggyback in the Bjorn as well anymore.
That's okay. I could probably use the exercise. You've been carrying me around for kind of a while. I appreciate it. I feel much warmer.
I mean, it's still cool, though. Think about it. Necromancer on the back of a big undead zombie. That's cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed the way we used to travel, but this is good too.
I don't know. Now we're all walking, and now I've got to sleep like you guys sleep. Dreaming last night was weird.
What did you dream about?
Well, so it started with Elijah and I. We were at like a little place and we were ordering sandwiches together. But then Elijah was like, "But you didn't toast my buns properly." And then the person behind the counter said, "Well, sir, this is a place where you toast your own buns." And Elijah pulls out his sword and he goes, "Oh, of course." But then his sword was a pickle. And then Elijah left because he had to go fight somebody. And there was a dragon in the area. And the dragon sat down and was like, "Hey, is that a toasted bun?" I said, "No, sorry." And the dragon was like, "Ah, better luck next time." And then he left. And then we all turned to bubbles.
Elijah.
Wow, you would think that Elijah would like a restaurant where you toast your own bun.
"Do you like that, Elijah?" As Ordell shouts up.
I like toasted bun. What color was the dragon?
I think it was purple.
I didn't know they made purple dragons.
Who makes dragons?
Dragons, I would assume.
So maybe a blue and a red dragon make a purple dragon.
I think a bunch of dragons tried that one time, and now we have a demon queen in hell somewhere, or did.
Huh.
Anyone
What
feel
if-
like buns?
It's
for dinner?
Tiamat. Did you not get the? I'm sorry. I should have mentioned. Sorry, I thought that joke would land.
What's a
Emma-
tea in Matt?
It's
I
big.
got your reference.
Thank you. Like a poor comedy club. Thank you. Also, just so you all have seen it, if you haven't, Boba got a GFY because they said, let me quote it specifically: "Can Emma and Emery fanfic take place in the Bonewood?" Well done.
Fair.
But no, I can't hand it out at random for you. You have to pick. Can't do that
It's
for
your
you.
punishment.
That's your punishment for being the way you are.
Interactive.
How dare you? But yeah, you pick who, and we'll go from there. So as the group goes through the snow, again, this isn't quite heavy snow yet. Winter is not fully on for the season, but it is. I'm trying not to say winter has come with all the other stuff that's going on. There's winter is on its way. I gotta hate it. You know what, Winter? I want to give you a giveaway, but I'm the one who said it. So, winter's on its way, but not quite here yet. As you all are traveling, so it's not impossible to move through this snow. It's not knee deep or anything like that. Wait, Winter, so she's at. Oh no, I thought that was somebody else who did that one. Still waiting on Boba's. As you all are traveling, with the survival rolls that I rolled for Elijah and Ritter. Though winter is on its way, storms are still pretty frequent around this season. As such, it must have rained the night before, not just where you all were, but throughout this whole area. And as so, there's a lot of ice underneath your feet, and it makes it hard to be able to tell from the soil below. I'll give the GFY to Winter for you. Yes. Good. Winter, just know at some point I will use these 10 GFYs for you.
Yeah, but you reset now, right?
And
Oh, yeah.
I could be
Once I
asleep.
use them, they're reset for sure.
If I'm asleep when you choose to use the GFI, does it not count?
Yeah, Rybo.
Guess we'll see. You know, if you're unconscious, you just won't feel it.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Uh,
Tell that to.
stop it.
Don't.
As
Don't.
the ice
Don't.
beneath you makes it impossible to feel where the soil is to tell where things are. As such, it's hard for them to get a bead on the direction that they're going. They feel like they're going in the right direction. They're going to the east, but how far north and how far south they are is hard to tell without the sun. Jakey. As they keep moving on, throughout the day here, you feel the kind of urgency on the travel as Elijah and Ritter seem to keep speaking kind of softly to each other, seeming to keep something from the group. You travel fine for the first night before it gets to nightfall, but you feel warmer in a way. Possibly the weather is getting nicer. It just feels like things are going the right way. You feel kind of that nice calming sense of heat within you. The snow is lessened where you're going. It's now in patchy marks. There's no more ice beneath your feet. You're getting to the soil, which is a rich kind of dark brown soil where you're at. Before Ritter and Elijah say, all right, I think we've made an issue. We thought we were going the right way. We thought we were... I thought we were going to the north. I think we've gone further south than we were expecting.
Weren't we meant to be going east?
We're going east, but without the sun, it's very hard to tell if we're going east, northeast, southeast, and with the snow, it's hard to tell where we're at. I think we are on the very edge of the Bloodstocks. We can stay here for the night. It is cold. It is about to get colder as the night comes. Or we can try and move, but it's going to be tiring if we want to get further away from the stocks. Sorry, I wish we could have had more signs to see, but it's tough trekking with these clouds.
Wait, I thought we wanted to be near the stocks.
We tried to avoid them. I thought we wanted to go around and over, get near Crystal Hollow. We only want to go to the stocks if we want to be near Ignis, but we're trying to avoid that for now.
See.
This could be a dangerous area.
I'll stay awake.
Are you all right camping here? I feel uncomfortable by it, but we could.
I mean, I don't think I really want to push it. This is, I'll be honest, my first time leaving a place in like a normal body. I don't want to start messing with sleep stuff.
Okay, then we need at least 2 people on each watch. We can't just leave this to chance. We're too close to enemy territory here.
Who is staying up awake with me?
I can. Guess.
I can
also
have. Yeah, I can have the children help as well, and I'm happy to take a shift.
Oh wait, I have an idea. Winter, I don't want the children. I want the adults. But have them around me, and then we can just look like a roving troop of undead around the camp, and then using big brain, we can fool anyone.
Sure. I nod, and the adults start going. They're less moany because they're skeletons.
They make more clattering sounds
Like-
with their jawbones than anything. Just the kind of traditional Halloween, just the sound of skeletons and bones bouncing off each other. If you want the children to help, they can definitely make more noises, but if you're just using the skeletons to where you look like a band of 4 that circles the camp all night, you can do that, Emma, but you still need light activity to get a rest. As I tell that you're thinking about it very, very hard here,
No,
Drew.
my power went out. I don't know if anybody saw that. My power went out, but my computer stayed on, but my audio went out. And so I had to minimize the screen because I couldn't hear any of you.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening. Like, power is going out in different parts of my house, and I think the ghost might be here. Anyway.
Did you hear what I said at all?
Nope.
So, you are, if you're going to do this and roam around the camp to look like a roaming band of ghouls to try and ward off anybody, you are not going to be doing light activity. You don't need to sleep, but you still need to be doing light activity to get a rest. So that's fine, but you may not want to do it all
We
night.
wouldn't be doing it the entire night.
Okay. Elijah
Just, like,
and Ritter...
maybe 2 watches worth.
Elijah and Ritter offer to be the first one, or to be the last ones to wake up, so early risers, but they're tired. Elijah's definitely beat after being up for almost 2 days.
Told you should have slept.
Dritter has been working on tracking, and to no avail. It's very exhausting and non-rewarding. Now that they're here, he's just frustrated. So they're gonna sleep, but they'll take the last watch.
Do you know what? Do you know what also might be really helpful is that I've been studying and forgot because of the short-term memory loss that I took. I've learnt a new spell. I haven't used it before, but it kind of can make a little bit of a house for us to be in. That seems like it might be useful, right?
Yes,
You can just make a
Yeah.
house.
That's
Well,
cool.
it takes me about like 10 minutes or so to make it. It's magic. It's a magic house.
should have you make a lot of houses in Cavity. Everybody could have their own place to stay.
Well,
In 10
I was gonna
minutes,
say,
you could help build the
Making a house
garrison.
in 10 minutes, that's crazy fast. I
It-
heard about a guy who broke a house and built it again in 3 days. It was crazy.
it does have kind of one fatal flaw, which is that after about 8 hours, it disappears.
Oh.
Well, but
That's
that'll
enough
be
time
useful
to
for the
sleep.
night.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, an 8-hour house sounds like a good house.
So that I still think it's probably a good idea for us to have people that keep watch. But if you would like, I can make it a house that is big enough for all of us to fit inside.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. Can we have our own rooms and stuff?
I've
Can I have a pool?
I've never actually done it before. This will be the first time, but I can try. I can do my best.
Yeah, whatever you make. Like one, you don't have to make everybody a pool, but like one pool would be cool. You know what?
Like a
Scrap
shared pool.
like a tiger room. Or you know what? I will let your imagination flow. But I'm gonna cover my eyes
Okay.
and be surprised. As Ordell like just covers his eyes abruptly.
Are you gonna keep your eyes covered for 10 minutes?
Ordell just his immediate response is, "I can't hear you. My eyes are covered."
And then Winter is gonna start to kind of map out and trace an area, a 10-foot area, and start kind of like out of her spell book, like throwing green energy that start to like build this dome. And I'm gonna cast Tiny Hut.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Tiny Hut is not like the invulnerability spirit. It's like an actual creates a house, correct?
So it is a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force that springs into existence around you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if I leave the area. It can fit 9 creatures of medium size or smaller inside, and it fails if the area includes a large creature or more than 9.
Okay. So it would
creatures-
be then the dome of transparent protection.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a house so much as it is a protective area, which is equally as good. But just to make sure I knew.
From what
But I
understand, you
do
can make it-
prestidigitation to make it look. I know that's not exactly how prestidigitation works, but everyone feels very homely inside.
With Ordell being inside this bubble of force and the heat that he produces, it would make the area pretty comfy and pretty warm. Ordell is basically
It's
going to be able to function
oxygen,
as
you
a
know.
campfire.
It's comfortable and dry regardless of the weather.
Perfect. So as
And I can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. It's opaque from the outside,
okay,
of
good.
any color that I choose, but transparent from the. So people can't see in. It looks
What color are you making it?
opaque. I'm gonna make it. No, that's a bad idea. If I make it have tiger stripes, you know what? I'm gonna make it have tiger stripes.
White and
on the
black
outside.
tiger stripes, maybe.
White and black tiger stripes.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
like a snow tiger.
As Ordell, you finally hear almost like the closing of a box just as you turn around, and now there's suddenly a block in the wind, and there's a quite literal orb, a tiger striped orb, though it doesn't appear to be furry in any way. It appears to be solid, almost like marble, now sits behind you, dim in this snowy land here, north of the Bloodstalks, as winter is, because if winter leaves it, it's gone. Winter is now out of view, leaving the rest of you all outside this small orb of tiger-striped paint.
I wave. Come inside.
The whole house is the tiger room. As Ordell pushes past Emma and runs in.
I instruct the family to stay outside.
The zombies and skeletons sit their little butts in the snow. As it is warm inside to everyone, you can see out, but knowing that you cannot see in, you do feel a little bit comforted that they can't see you, though the structure itself may raise some eyebrows. As Ritter says, okay, this is good. You chose a good color. The white and the black. Hopefully people won't be able to see it from a distance. Good.
And it's also fun.
It is fun. It's very fun. I am tired, and so is Elijah. I think we're going to get some sleep so that we can take last watch. Just wake us up when you need us.
Do you want? I can sit up for a while, and keep watch. But I will need to have a sleep at some point.
We could do Elijah and I, Winter and someone else, and then the other two that remain can take the other watch.
Who wants to pair up for watches?
Emma's not in the thing, but she has offered to do 2 watches with the skeletons. But she's not in the orb. She's currently outside of the orb in the snow.
Ashton?
I don't think I'm in the orb yet either, and I think I offered to do a watch with Emma anyways. So.
Okay. So Emma and Ashton do offer to take the first one. Winter?
Okay, well I'll have a little rest, and then if you want to wake me up, I can do the second.
Perfect. You and Ordell will take the second one then, and Elijah and Ritter will take the third. With that, I need perception rolls from everybody.
Nice.
And I need to know if you're going to leave the orb for your watch.
Yeah, I'll leave. No, I won't.
That's a 19.
It's suddenly very cold.
23 for perception on first watch, I guess.
23
I
for
first watch.
An 8 from me.
An 8. Ordell?
And
sorry, I didn't know we were doing.
Everybody's going to roll, yeah.
Yeah.
Winter?
13.
13 from Ordell. Winter?
17.
17. So Emma and Ashrin, correct, are on the first watch?
Mm-hmm.
Ashrin,
And are you inside or outside the orb?
Ashrin, before I head out, I think you should keep watch from inside the orb since you're fleshy and you get cold. And then me and the skeletons will walk around the perimeter and keep an eye out. That way you stay warm and you can still see outside the orb.
Okay, that's a great idea. Also, I'm kind of realizing now, is this thing invincible?
I have no idea.
Winter, is this thing invincible?
What do you mean by invincible?
Like, can anything break through it?
No, just you guys.
So why do we need to watch if it's invincible?
Just to be safe. Because technically someone could wait outside the large tiger shaded orb for it to not be there and then...
True. Okay. I thank you. That's all I needed. I will watch from in here.
Come, minions.
Ashton, you said you rolled an 8?
Yep.
And 23 from you, Emma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Ashton, you are eager to get moving, and the fact that you're here in the Bloodstocks and Emma made fun of you, you're kind of stewing over that, and you're watching Emma's light every now and again, but your mindset of, we're safe in here, it's fine, kind of takes over as you just lay back into the dirt with your bedroll behind you for a while and just look upwards at the clouds and ponder what the journey ahead has and kind of get lost in that thought for a while. Emma.
Great watch I'm doing. I'm at the sky. Come on now.
You rolled an 8. You get lost in your own thoughts.
You get what you get.
Emma, you look to the skeletons and say, all right, Follow me. And the skeletons look at you blankly. For you, Winter, tell the skeletons to follow me. Oh, of course. Before the skeletons then, with no problem, follow in tow with you, holding a short bow and a short sword on each side. Go ahead.
I do call out to Emma and say, they will follow you, but if you'd like them to attack, you'll probably have to come back and ask me to tell them to.
I'll just radio. You'll hear my voice. I'll make it nice and loud.
Can we test whether or not the undead creatures respond to radio messaging?
Sure. If you want to try it.
I think through the radio to do what they say.
Emma, you're just outside the orb, just trying to make sure that it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you try and tell them to do?
Tell them to attack that tree.
Do I hear that? Do I hear it from inside the orb?
Oh.
Because technically,
sound
magic can't penetrate it. Magic can't penetrate it.
Oh, magic period. Okay.
Oh, that was just me talking out loud.
Magic spells can't be cast through it like hit things,
but
I'm
gonna double check.
Like
How
sending and
should-
stuff like that and message. I'm pretty sure you still can because those are psychic things.
So spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. So no.
Interesting.
It's just. Well, oh well. We'll run back. It'll be fine. I can fend for myself.
Yeah, follow Auntie Emma.
They nod their
Oh
heads.
no, you're taking the adults, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you taking all
Still
of them?
Auntie Emma.
I'll
Emma's
take
way
all
older.
of them. Why not?
As the
You
skeletons
taking all of them?
clack and you're taking the children too.
Yeah, I'll take them all.
Good.
Okay. Please don't lose them.
You have to tell them not to get lost.
Okay. Family, don't get
literally
lost.
cannot do anything.
Ugh, a collective groan from all of them and clatters from the skeletons as they follow
Like
2 or
this.
3 feet behind you. Emma.
Remember the buddy system.
The children hold
They're
hands.
just holding hands. We're going.
Emma, as you're going about your watch, with the 4 zombie children dragging their feet along the snow and holding hands, and the 3 skeletons maybe 2 feet from behind you, taking this follow you very literally and wanting to do a good job for Winter. Anytime you stop, you feel them kind of run into you before you just kind of and make a point to not stop anymore throughout this first watch. You move quite a bit of ways away from the orb to try and scout and make sure that nothing can see you out here. The only thing that they might be able to see is your green flame in the distance, but you're hesitant to hide this as that would be Ashrin's beacon to find or follow you if need be as well.
To
Do
be
you
fair,
hide your flame?
To be fair, she does have that large winter. Well,
So I'm
large
asking,
for
do
her
you hide
winter
your
coat.
flame?
Yeah, she would have the coat closed.
Then Ashrin, you definitely can't see Emma off in the distance in the night. So your 8 stands as you look up into the stars through the clouds. Emma, as you're going around this camp here, you can hear the footsteps of all the skeletal beings that follow you, as well as the zombie children that drag their feet through the snow. You circle around the camp for maybe an hour and a half or so, trying to make yourself look as ghoulish as possible, hoping that the others do the same, but whatever, maybe in the distance they'll just see skeletons and turn tail. But at one point you go far enough south to where you can see trees without any leaves. In the distance you can kind of see the silhouette against the white snow of red trees with vines hanging down from them. You recognize these trees from before. And you also see something that you can't quite make out at this distance, something that seems to be moving in the ground nearby.
I feel confident with my skeletal family. I will stealthily, I know they aren't going to be stealthy, but I will be stealthy with a marauding band of 7 undead following me. I'm assuming this is a disadvantage, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah.
Well, that would have been nice because that was a 17, and the other is a 5 plus 2, so a 7.
Good. As you kind of duck down, you notice the skeletons and the zombies don't at all, and you kind of just stand up and decide to walk over. At this point, speed would outweigh the benefits of stealth as they're not helping, and you kind of do a quick walk over to get a little bit better of a view. Roll me another perception.
Alrighty. Yeah. I'll take it. That's a 19 plus 3, so 22.
22. You see the same trees that you saw before. You can fully identify these as the trees from the Bloodstocks. You must be right on the border of the forest. But the thing moving in the ground, it looked to be almost like a small little sapling, I guess is the best descriptor. But you see it moving quite frantically, I guess is the best term for it. There's almost a small mound of dirt piled up around it, and as you get a bit closer, you recognize that it's two legs sticking up out of the ground with vines that seem to wrap around the legs.
Can I...
You're still far enough away that you're maybe about 30, 40 feet away. If you want to like really investigate, you need to go up on it.
I will get closer. Actually, you know what? From 30 feet, I'm just going... Are the legs like kicking, moving, anything like
They
that?
seem to be almost twitching or convulsing.
I'm going to cast from a distance Spare the Dying and notice if the legs start kicking differently.
You throw a small jet of green flame over towards the legs that are sticking up, but they don't seem to stop their erratic movements.
And then I turn around, whatever that is, it's already dead.
You turn back around, and do you continue your watch?
Yep.
Okay. Emma, you patrol around before about 3 hours have passed, and you think, all right, you should at least let Ashrin know that she should get some sleep. Ashrin, eventually you see a light appear in the darkness outside the dome as Emma opens up her coat to let you know that she's nearby, and you can see the large group of undead that have followed. Emma, you can go back in. You can do whatever you'd like, but if not, you can tell Winter and Ordell it's their turn.
Winter's gonna come in, wake up Winter and Ordell, and since Ashrin's still awake, she's gonna say, "Don't go too far south if you're gonna keep watch. We're fairly close to the Bloodstocks, and it seems they were making a meal of something. But just throw it out there. Just keep watch, maybe from inside the dome."
Like the trees were making a meal of something, like the Bloodstocks.
The vines had I would assume, some humanoid figure who was getting sucked into the ground. The legs were convulsing. I tried to do a small healing thing just to make sure that it was dead. And from my knowledge, could I have rolled? It's gonna retcon
A little
things.
too late, yeah.
Yeah. From what I understand, it looked dead. It was convulsing and doing weird things.
Gross.
So, if you are gonna leave, don't go south.
Yeah, don't want to get eaten by a tree.
Yeah, I think it's probably best that we just watch from inside the dome.
Okay. Ashrin, Emma, it's up to you if you want to do anything, but if not, your watch is over.
No, go ahead, Ashton.
Oh no, I can't believe it's time already. It's just the stars are so beautiful. That's all.
Emma's
Yeah.
gonna into the ring, and she is going to, cause she's gonna make Emery look real nice. She's gonna try and find some like green clothing, and do a little bit of dress up.
As Emma acts out the plot of Weekend at Bernie's, Winter and Ordell, what were your rolls again for your perception? If you don't remember them, we'll just have you reroll, because I don't.
17.
17.
I think mine was like 13 or 14.
I thought it was around there. It wasn't crazy high. I remember Emma's being the
yeah.
innocuous one. Winter and Ordell, then, are you planning on staying inside the bubble?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. With that, The night is still quite dark. There's not much light to emanate outside of the orb, since the only ones are from what you can see and nobody else can see inside. Your watch passes pretty uneventfully. You do keep a bit of an eye towards the south, but don't notice anything and don't think you notice anything noticing you. Before it's probably about time to wake up Elijah and Ritter for their watch.
Well, shall we get him up?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I'll wake Ritter.
I'll shake Elijah awake.
Sorry. Get some rest. We'll wake you up when it's time, and then we'll get moving. We won't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Do you want me to give any instructions to? I gesture outside, or just
protect us, I guess, if anything comes in. But we'll go do some strolling and make sure that we're all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll indicate for them to watch over the dome, protect the dome, and then I'll go to Snooze Land.
Ordell, same?
Yeah. Ordell's just gonna crash, just illuminate, so he's like a little space heater. He's gonna lay right in the middle of the room.
As Ritter and Elijah go about their watch, they leave the orb to go scout around just to make sure that you all are all right. As the sun rises, it's again not a full sunrise between the clouds, but it's enough to finally give light in the land below where you're all at, instead of just kind of the red light from the stormy clouds. You are awoken quite quickly as Ritter kind of shakes everyone's up. We need to go. We need to go now. Grab your things. Grab your book. We should go.
Where's Elijah?
Elijah's there with him.
Okay.
He says, well, we need to go. Grab your things. This is a cursed place. We need to leave.
Did something happen, Ritter?
We'll tell you on the way. Just grab your packs. Calmly but quickly. Let us leave.
Okay.
Did you see the person getting pulled down in the ground by the vines?
You knew? Why didn't you tell us?
I told the second watch.
Why didn't you tell us?
The second watch would have told the third watch.
Did you see? Did you see the vines growing from the feet?
Oh,
they weren't growing from the feet.
Yes, they were.
You don't know what I saw.
I just saw it, Emma. We need to leave.
Oh, no, the legs were twitching and they were... Okay, we'll talk about this on the way.
And he continues to argue.
I think we did a very good job on our watch.
yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't see any vines eat anything. I should have. We should have told you. Seems like a big deal.
I mean, it wasn't close to us, though. It wasn't dangerous. We're fine. We're fine. We're going to the east.
Everybody grabbing their things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making an active point to now go away from the stalks and east. It's going to take a little bit longer to go around, but they do begin moving. As Ritter says, Emma, I don't know how much you saw. The vines were coming from the flesh of the being as it convulsed.
Oh, well, I was also 30 feet away from it. I just by myself figured, probably not a good idea to go investigate something that is close to the place where people die and get eaten. So I was like, self-preservation. I guess that's a good thing.
We cut the vines. We tried to help the
You said not to cut the vines.
We saw someone writhing. We thought they were in pain. We cut the vines to try and release them, but the vines came from the men's shoes. It was somebody that had got taken 2 nights ago.
So he is the vines?
That's what we think. We think they're making these trees from people.
Just gonna throw it out there for next time you encounter something like this. Don't cut the vines. I heard it from someone before.
Maybe tell us next time. Maybe wake us up. This seems like it's something that should be talked about. You see a man writhing.
He was, I assume, dead when
I don't know if you've heard an old adage, Emma, about assuming things.
I haven't. What is the adage?
It makes an ass out of you and me.
That's good. I'm gonna have to use that.
If something was writhing like that, we saw the vines grow. They were growing before our very eyes. That was fresh. Whatever put it there is nearby.
That's a valid point. But what if it just got sucked in the ground?
Emma, I'm a bit concerned here. Perhaps you're very excited about getting to the unwilling area. I am too. I hope that you have a great time. But the severity of the situation that we're in right now doesn't seem to have grasped onto you. I'm going to make an effort to try and be more positive and uplifting, but I also need you to make an effort to be more realistic with our situation. Tell us these are things that we should be warned about. These are signs that we could have all been in great trouble last night.
To be fair, I did tell people.
We were told, we just didn't pass it on because Emma said not to go south. We figured we're watching our camp. We knew the Bloodstock was a very bad place and we weren't going to go any farther than our camp. So I feel
Sure.
like chewing out Emma, if you're going to chew out anybody, you can chew out me. I'm the one that like got people up. But here's the thing. You guys did go after something in the Bloodstocks when we've been given information to not go there. So, I mean, we should just keep our distance as much as we can. This is like, if we're talking about who's blaming who for what, doesn't matter. For future nights, we will talk about it. But at the end of the day, there's a vine foot thing. I think that is more concerning than who didn't talk about it, as Ordell's now like marching.
Elijah kind of speaks up with that. He says, look, I agree with both of you. I just think more knowledge is better than less knowledge in this situation. This should have been enough information for us to have all woken up and left in the middle of the night last night, I think.
But we're all okay now, and we're going away from the Bloodstock, so everything's all right, and let us go.
Well, because we were gonna be less safe if we weren't in the protective orb.
Yeah.
I have been in a great many keeps before that have been surrounded. I don't think it's a fun time, even if you're safe inside the keep.
Next time, how about we agree that if we see a creature being eaten by dangerous vines, we'll let you know.
It's a good rule. I think we should all have that rule. Vines, maybe wolves, anything, really.
Okay, if other creatures are being eaten by other creatures or inanimate objects or plant life, then we'll make sure to notify you.
Good. We'll do the same, obviously.
Oh, well, I think that we're all in agreement. I just need a couple of moments to prepare for the day, if that's okay.
Well,
Otherwise,
I have an idea, actually.
Mhm.
Ordell's going to plop the sled down they made for winter. You sit on the front, and Ordell's going to like plant it in the snow, rub his hands together, and I'm going to cast Burning Hands from the back of the sled to see if it propels us while we're going forward.
okay. I sit
Speed
down on the
sled!
sled.
Winter says, okay, Ordell's like ready for this before a sudden triangle of flames comes from the tips of Ordell's fingers. It keeps you very warm, much warmer than Ordell's just general ambient body heat keeps you. And the snow on the ground melts, as do any sort of small weeds or grass that might have started to grow. But it does not propel you forward.
Aw. That was anticlimactic. Oh well.
Thank
Ordell's just
you,
gonna like
though.
kick and move the sled along.
Again, I'm just going to take a couple minutes, if that's all right with everyone, to just prepare a few things before we get going. Do we have time for that?
You all are-
According to Ritter and Elisha, we don't. Our lives are in danger, and we're about to die.
Did we get a long
Ooh,
rest?
hold
by the way?
on. Emma,
Emma got chewed out. She's feeling sassy.
good. I need you to roll me a straight charisma check.
I got you. 19 plus 3, so 22.
Your familiarity with Ritter, he can sense that you're trying to poke at him, but he holds his resolve because of your general charismatic self. He can tell that it's not a I hate you thing, though there is some malice in it. He abstains from what he wants to say and is quiet. You all have been
Alright.
moving for some time. Do you want to stop and cast Winter?
We've already been moving.
If you want to do this before we've been moving, then no. Yeah, you're still in the bubble. Ashton,
I
you were going
just
to say
wanted-
something?
I feel like we're going in a circle, and this whole time they're arguing back and forth. I'm just kind of helping pack up everything already. I imagine it's like a back and forth. No, you, and I'm just like cleaning things up here and there so we can just go.
Okay. Ashton just says, all right, shut up. As you start throwing bags. Yeah, you start packing Winter's bag for her as she is going about casting a spell.
I just want to do like these will become like my morning rituals that I do every morning, but I just want to make sure that I do those before we leave. So like casting mage armor and also recasting animate dead.
Perfect.
So I mark the spell slots off for them as well.
Awesome. Winter, as you keep the bubble up, you slowly create the energy around you that protects you, as well as go and kind of pat the shoulders of all the undead and make sure that they're still looking all right and ship shape. All right, you feel that they are still in tune to you mentally and able to hang on for a while.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let us go then. As during this time for Winter to be recasting these spells and getting things back over, you can see Elijah and Ritter are very on edge here, kind of looking outside of the orb pretty constantly. Ritter has his bow out and an arrow in his left hand alongside the bow shaft for an easy, quick fire if he needs to. But throughout this time, they don't seem to see anything. As you say you're ready, they kind of confirm and okay, let's go then.
After a while in the silence, Ordell definitely tries to scare the crap out of Ritter. He just makes a fire burst behind him. Not to hurt him, just like a loud sound.
You roll a charisma for me, Ordell.
Okay. How's a 1 do me?
Oh no.
So, hey, Winter. Remember those 10 GFYs?
Oh no.
no. Yeah.
As Ordell, you kind of look over to Emma and go, create a jet of flame. Ritter jumps back and quickly pulls the arrow as tight as he can, ready to fire at something. The flame kind of brushes up and covers his eyes, and it makes it hard for him to see. As he holds the arrow back, he can't see anything. He says, "What was that?" And after the fire appears, there are several zombies and skeletons, and for a brief moment, he forgets himself there. Forgets that these are not things trying to kill him.
Your plan.
And he goes to pull an arrow up as you say, "No!" And you put your hand out as the arrow flies through. As your hand goes out forward, the big flat broad-headed arrow for your right hand, your middle finger and ring finger
Oh no.
fall off to the ground.
Oh dear.
As a sudden cry is
I'm
yelled out
Spider-Man.
from Winter. You're, a constant rock and roll pose. But Winter, you cry out in heavy pain. Let me go ahead and mark these 10 GFYs off here for you.
Wait, what?
Emma's gonna walk over and she's gonna pick up the 2 fingers. Let me see your hand.
I'm so sorry. What did you do that
I
for?
gotta make sure.
Everything was so tense, and I thought it'd be funny.
Why would this be funny? We told you what was out there and you... God! Ritter.
You said there was monsters with vines, not fire monsters. I thought you knew that was my thing now.
As Winter, you're bleeding.
Middle finger.
You're holding your
sure
hand.
this
Emma
is your
is
ring finger.
looking at the fingers. Ritter comes over there and grabs you by the hand. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
And
Winter.
Then and then
You look
Emma's
down
gonna
at your
cast-
fingers.
Emma's gonna cast mending on the bones of the fingers. And then as she does, after that 6 seconds, she's going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Emma, Winter is sitting before you and you show her your thing. She's like, no, it's going to be okay. As Winter, you see the bones that have cracked. Emma casts Mending on healing the bones on the inside of the fingers. So they're still going to be good and usable as you look at to cast
But
Cure
they're not-
Wounds. Do you
They're
try
not
and,
attached to my hand, are they?
do you
They're
try
just-
and place them back on her hand to cast the Cure Wounds?
If the
What are you trying to do? Tell me.
I'm trying to reattach her 2 fingers.
Perfect. You place the 2 fingers on the nubs. We're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. As you do, you take a bit of your flame and try and cauterize them back together. But the nerves were struck so cleanly. When you cure the wounds, you heal the wounds on her fingers, but don't reattach the fingers. That is a separate magic. You try your best to see if it will work. But the wounds are now sealed, and you hold 2 fingers with cured bones, but a no longer bleeding hand of Winter's blood stops running down your arm. Winter, you take a permanent -1 to your strength and dexterity.
Eventually I can fix this for you, but for now at least you still have your fingy winkies. And then Emma looks down, she's like, oh no. And then realizes that she put your middle finger where your ring finger is and your ring finger where your middle finger is.
Well, they're not attached, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, perfect. Good day. Perfect. But the bones are attached though, right?
There are bones in the fingers that you're holding.
I feel like Winter just goes white and is like just staring at her hand, and then
I'm gonna run over and I just cover her hand with my hands. I'm like, it's okay. Hey, look at me. Eyes on me. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't. Nope. You're good.
I'm a scholar and I don't know if I can hold a pencil anymore.
We can make you things and stuff, and I'll hold on to these for you.
If you can make a beautiful family, undead family like them, you can definitely have your fingers again.
I don't think that I can make undead fingers on my hand.
No.
I'm so sorry.
You shut the fuck
Rita,
up.
are you like mad
on.
at me or something?
Hold on.
What?
It was a thing that went poorly. I will hold on to these fingers. At least your wounds are healed. And we should probably go, as we've just made a lot of noise.
Yeah, well, someone just shot my fingers off.
You
would
made an
make a lot of
explosion behind me. Why would you do this, Ordell?
What the fuck?
Ordell's already gone.
Did you leave?
Yeah, Ordell left. Like, Ordell's gone.
Where are you headed?
Um,
You only know, based on where you've been shown directionally, south is the Bloodstalks.
Ordell is going east. Just walking east.
As Ritter says, why would you... Where did Ordell go? Fuck! Winter, I am so sorry. I thought something was attacking us with what we saw before, and then I saw your skeletons. I thought it was a skeleton coming out of the flame, and I tried to shoot it, and then I'm so sorry. This is my fault.
Yeah, it is.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't need all of my fingers. I have 8 more fingers, right?
I will
fine.
fix this for you at some point in time in the future. I'll hold on to these, and Emma waves your 2 fingers. I will hold on to these.
We will find you a healer in one town.
Ritter, now's not the time. I'm gonna grab some snow from the ground. Okay, Emma, give me your fingers.
I don't.
Okay, here, put the snow. Just here, and I put the snow on the fingers on Emma's bony hand. Hopefully, the snow doesn't go through your bony fingers. You know.
Are you making a winter finger snowball?
No, Winter. No, that's not
In
at all.
essence, actually, yes. Actually,
Emma, shut the fuck up. Everyone just needs to shut the fuck up.
You're just not gonna throw it though.
We need to put your fingers on ice to preserve them. Okay?
What does the area look like where my fingers once were? Is Is it
So
healed?
if you're talking about like which part of the nubs, so probably halfway between your first like joint and your knuckle there is gone. It is healed because of the cure wounds and made a solid skin-like nub. Luckily, Emma healed you instead of Elijah, who would have cauterized the wounds and left very dark burn marks.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that, just one less. So you won't be able to
Well-
wear a ring on that finger for a while. at
Can I
least.
try and get my book out and write something?
As you just your hand kind of shakes as your arm is a bit numb just from the shock of it. Your hand shakes. You pull out a small quill, set it on the ground just to see if you still can do it. You're able to write with the fingers that you have. You can do it. A lot of people do writing with just 2 fingers. It's a bit sloppier than you're used to. The handwriting is not nearly as neat, something you used to take quite a lot of pride in with your neat handwriting. But it's still legible. You can still make runes, not a problem. But your overall grip strength and general dexterity with your hand will be lessened for a long time.
Okay, I don't think that this is going to impede my ability to write down spells in my spell book or to write any extracurricular material. So it could be worse, right? Everyone's largely okay.
It'll be okay. It'll
should-
be okay.
We should find Odell.
And if
And
anything,
we should-
maybe we can attach like bone fingers there because we're going to the place of the unwilling. I'm sure they have more powerful healers than me.
Right? Walk and talk. Walk and talk. We gotta find Fire
find
Baby.
Odell.
Odell. Right.
Where's Elijah?
Talk. Walk and talk.
Also, just touching on something that I don't think we addressed. You know how Odell described how heavy XC was? Someone brought XC, right?
Ordell was
Um,
carrying XC.
Okay, so
Imo's
XC
gonna be look and be like, oh,
No, he mentioned that he brought basically a sling for the Rubik's Cube.
So Ordell and XC are missing. So we can reattach my fingers later.
And Elijah,
Mm.
during the commotion, Elijah must have left as well. Which, as Ashton says, let's walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. You all go ahead.
I'm walk and talk, and I'm gonna cast detect magic because in your world it's like a trail, right? It's not just like a one spot. So I'm gonna try to see if where their magic auras went in what direction.
So if they are carrying any sort of magical item, you would be able to find them. But it's not just a straight, I can track people with it. So you
Yes.
would know that before you use it. If they are wearing magical items of any kind, then if you know about that, then it would be smart for you to use it. But if you don't, you know you'd be taking a risk.
I would assume that Ordell has the magic item of some sort.
Well,
Yeah.
XC has the comet,
Yes.
and Ordell has XC.
Okay.
Yes.
Still casting it then?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. As you quickly throw up detect magic, you do get some faint senses of illusion magic and enhancement magic or enchantment magic that have moved offwards onto the east. You also get a sense of evocation magic that you weren't expecting trailing off after it as well, which Asher then says, they're this way. And everybody begins to move offward towards the east, which we're going to cut to Ordell for a moment. Ordell, have you been running or just walking to get away from everyone?
Ordell's like running. Yeah, Ordell's very upset.
As you've gone, you had a couple minutes head start before them. You're kind of at a not like an all-out sprint, but just a run to get away for a bit. Behind you, though, you do begin to hear the pounding of plate from behind you, as if someone in heavy armor is on your trail. As looking backward, you can see Elijah in a run to try and catch up to you as well, as he has some loyalty and allegiance to you. You see him running after you with a long sword sheathed in hand at kind of a heavy jog to catch up. He doesn't call out for you, more just to kind of watch over you. But once you see him behind you with your passive perception, do you stop at all or do you just keep going?
Oh yeah, I forgot I have ridiculously high.
Yeah,
passive
it's
perception.
really
That's
good.
a thing. Man, I was like, I rolled last night, but I was like, oh yeah, I can't really beat my passive perception. Uh, I think Ordell's pretty like meh, but he does slow down so Elijah can catch up, but Ordell doesn't say anything. But at this point though, Ordell is like burning, like not to warm people up, like heat waves are coming off of him, and now he's leaving a trail in the snow.
Elijah finally catches up to you, and you can hear his kind of heavy breath as he went quite quickly to be able to catch up. But he doesn't say anything as he gets to you. You kind of slow down a little bit and stop running and more just kind of at an angry paced walk. Elijah holds his sword behind as he looks to you before he just kind of looks forward as if to follow you without saying much of a word. The silence is kind of in the air for a little bit and makes you wonder what he's doing. So he just stares forward and walks beside you.
Yeah, I think Ordell glances at him like a few times. And I think over the course of the walk, like Elijah can see like the trail that is like very big of melted like snow is slowly starting to taper, but it's still very like gradual as like Ordell's like, yeah.
The two of you probably go for 10 minutes like this, just moving off to the east. For Elijah, you've noticed he hasn't stopped to look at you much at all. Just head forward, making sure that he's walking nearby you. Just, so you want to talk about it?
It was just stupid.
Yeah, probably, but we were on edge. Any other time, I'm sure it would have lightened the mood. Accidents happen.
I guess. I don't know. It's just frustrating.
I bet. But it's probably more frustrating for Winter and Ritter. I'm sure Ritter feels bad, and obviously Winter feels bad.
But none of that would have happened if I didn't scare him. It's not even his fault.
The
dude's just a good shot.
It's all just nice bullshit, man. None of it would have happened if your mother hadn't found your father attractive, if you go back far enough. What matters is owning up to it, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be worried
Thanks.
about you. We can keep walking. I've got no problem with that. I'm not going to let you walk out here alone. You obviously don't know where the fuck you're going. We're still pretty close to the stocks.
I want to test something before we go back.
Good.
You guys burn stuff lots. You ever tried burning the trees of the stalks?
I think someone might have once, or we might have sent some scouts to do it years ago, but they never came back, and so superstition and a general cautious nature has just told us to avoid it. But after seeing what we saw last night, it seems justified.
Maybe we'll do it after the smoke machines then. Just in case. I don't want my feet sticking under the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a nice fate, if you ask me.
Thanks, Elijah. As Ordell kind of stops, knowing that the group will eventually like catch up.
Elijah sits on a nearby rock and just kind of says, "For what?" For a not actually asking, but just to say, didn't do anything. As Ashrin, you're able to follow the trail that Ordell and Elijah have left without much issue with your detect magic. It follows the essence, and you get everyone to... you're able to lead everyone with not much problem. You notice that they're staying pretty heavy east and not moving very far from the bloodstocks, and that does worry you. It's up to you if that worries you enough to be at a fast pace or go slow to kind of help with Winter's general shock.
It depends on how bad Winter is freaking out right now.
Winter? You're
I'm muted, I know.
Yeah.
I think like I've calmed down considerably after realizing that I can hold a pencil. Like the first shock was just like I'm a wizard who can't write anything in a spell book. So once I was able to hold the pencil and see that it's manageable, I'm calming down quite a lot and refocusing on finding the others.
Emma is next to you. I don't know if it's helping or not, but Emma is trying to help out with the situation. Don't know how well it's working, but she is like, and I've seen these cool prosthetics where they have like these two rings and you can make, it's almost, are you familiar with like Mage Hand, as Emma casts Mage Hand? And you could just do it for those two fingers, and then you could have like Mage Hand fingers.
I suppose that I could make my fingers really, 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 really long sometimes.
Oh, you could be like that little animal with the big eyes that lives in the trees and it like scrapes at grubs.
Yeah. Or
Winter.
like snail.
Yeah.
Right, or you can have like well, you don't really use weapons, or like if you like a wand maybe, and you could just put it in your sleeve, and then you can
Whoa,
just
that
like
would-
have
yeah.
your wand come out.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. I suppose I mean it's not that bad, right? You
It
guys
could be
probably
worse.
want to have less fingers on your hands too, right?
You know what? You're right. But also think about it this way. He could have shot you in like the eye or in the heart or
Mm.
in much worse places. And technically it's no one's fault. It was just an odd accident.
My mom is going to be so mad when I go home.
Gonna
Unless
fix
you
it.
get some cool prosthetics. I'm just saying. You
And
could
It'll
be
be
the most
fine.
badass wizard ever. Just be like, "Pew, pew," with your
Yeah.
little
It does.
like finger wand. I think we
It
should
pro-
come up with a better name though.
It does probably like up my street cred, you know? Like,
Yeah, you're badass
ooh,
now. You've got wounds.
the necromancer with only 3 fingers. We could probably make it.
We can find better names.
We could workshop the name.
While this is happening, I have Emma in my left hand and Winter in my right hand, and kind of just like making them go faster as they can, and they're just talking like over my shoulders in between, you know.
Gotcha.
And we're
Trying to
kind of
push him
rushing
along.
along.
Gotcha.
Is Ritter coming with us?
Ritter is behind, not at all injecting himself in part of the conversation.
If he says anything, I swear to God.
Yeah, I put in chat.
And-
Y'all don't have enough passive perception to hear him, but as the three of you were talking, Ritter is just kind of constantly muttering, I'm sorry, under his breath. But the three of you go on about the possible mage hand combination, nicknames, 3-fingered winner, you know, what would be a cool necromancer name, as you go along trying to comfort Winter. But you're kind of at a slow pace in doing so, a little bit faster than a normal walk, but without
Fingerless
fast. I cast fingerless death on you as you try and get to where Ordell is. It takes probably about 25 or 30 minutes, since Ordell and Elijah were going pretty quick to get out of there. You had to deal with the finger thing and then head off towards them. But eventually, in the distance, you begin to see the red flame of Ordell's hair and catch up to them.
I think at that point, Emma would probably break off from Winter and Ashrin to just like scoot back to Ritter. Just in that way.
Ritter doesn't say anything with this, but
Emma doesn't say anything either. She'll just
Winter and Ashrin lead the group with the zombies, of course, in tail behind everybody, and skeletons that, you know, Winter would literally almost take a bullet for. Ashrin and Winter approach Ordell and Elijah. Elijah just kind of nods as both he and Ordell sit on a rock. No more snow around Ordell at all, since they've been here for about 15 minutes or so. The ground's kind of wet beneath him.
Ordell gets up and he does that thing where he talks way too loud. I really messed up and I'm sorry. I didn't.
Um,
I scared Ritter because I thought it would be funny because everyone was so tense and yelling over something about those stupid trees, and I did something that was really reckless and dumb, and I scared someone who is a military trained person, which in hindsight was a dumb idea, and it's
Ordell, if it
Mhm.
makes you feel any better, no one's thinking about the trees anymore.
True.
And I kind of just elbow him a little bit. It's
uh,
okay.
Orwell's fire entirely extinguishes like when she says that. In like I guess he's just like kind of like smiling, but he just like kind of looks at the ground.
Elijah
Like,
kind of comes over and gives a very subtle, like, elbow of you on the shoulder, as if to say, like, good job in doing that and, like, being a big person about it. Ritter comes up and says, I've apologized to Winter, and I can't do it enough, but I should also apologize to you, Odell.
for what?
I shouldn't have gotten angry like that. He doesn't look at Winter or Ashrin during this time at all. It seems almost that he can't. So he's like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept a level head. I thought that they were being attacked, and I saw a skeletal form. I'm still, and he kind of looks up at Emma, getting used to it. I'm sorry.
We are spooky.
Thank you for your apology. I want to offer my own. You offered one, and I should do that in return.
Ritter, you're fine. This is your world we're in. You have dealt with really, really scary stuff, and you've been hunted by these monsters and stuff. And I tried to ease the tension by keeping things light and trying to be silly, and I didn't realize the severity to you, and I didn't take that into account. So yes, by action you hit Winter's hand, but that would not have happened if I didn't do something extremely irresponsible and unfair to you. I put you in a position where you let an arrow fly, and I shouldn't have done that. So you don't apologize. It's not on you, and I think we need to go and get away from these bloodstocks because I think it's making everyone upset at each other when it's kind of pointless. Because I mean, right now we could be 2 feet up in the ground, so I think right now we've had it pretty good, all things considered.
And being sad won't reattach your fingers.
Winter,
That
you're
too.
taking this very, very well, and I'm proud of you for that.
I lean across to Ashrin and whisper, I think I'm internalizing a lot of it. And then nod and smile.
Right? Or compartmentalizing, and that's still a really good skill to have.
I
Thank
can't
you.
heal that kind of trauma.
I can do this. Can I have one of my fingers? And then I go up to Ritter and I hold one in place and I go, Ritter, pull my finger. Too soon?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes, Ritter, feel her cold, dead finger.
Ashrin.
He reaches out to grab the finger that you're holding too.
And
Do you just let it go?
And I go, ah!
When she pulls the finger, he doesn't make as loud of an explosion, but he does like make a little fiery toot come from behind her, just like.
You do feel a heavy nudge from Elijah Ordell. He does kind of, you can see that he chuckles a bit at it, but he does have to give you a bit of shit about it. So you feel like a heavy nudge from his elbow. Ritter just kind of, oh my god.
It honestly, it could have been worse, Ritter. I was thinking about making like confetti fly out when you did that, but I decided not to. I decided to behave.
I will find a way to get your fingers reattached, Winter. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But actually, we should probably put them somewhere safe. And
Into the ring it goes. I'll give them to Imre.
please don't.
Ooh. No, never mind. But for that good role play from
wait.
all characters
No,
around.
no, not like that. Sorry.
That good role play from all characters around. Maybe not Drew. Just kidding. From all characters around, everybody gets a point of inspiration. Good job, everybody. Ashrin Ritter thoroughly is chastised.
Also, Rybo, did I end up getting that dream inspo by chance, just out of curiosity?
Dream inspo.
There's
Meaning,
more people in chat
Bubbles.
for the dream earlier.
no. I liked it, but no. I
You
can't
do
give
that
inspos
GFI so much
just.
easier.
Oh yeah, I
just-
mean, because you all have ways to get your own inspirations other than that. You're just like, I can farm it since he said you could put kids in animals.
Oh wait, I have a new cat I could show off. I could be at 10 right now.
You have a new cat?
Yeah.
Go get it.
Go get the new cat.
Okay.
While Jakey gets his new cat, look at Words' highlighted message,
I love it.
So
which was
Perfect.
pretty good.
Pointing fingers. Oh,
Pointing fingers.
I'm gonna write that
Oh,
down. And
pretty
yes, that is a GFY words.
Really? It seems like an inspiration.
Nah, you know those are puns
I'm
are
just
always
gonna-
GFYs.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that I am at 9 GFYs, and we now know what happens when you get to 10. So just throwing
You
it
lose
out
your
there.
fingers.
Lose fingers.
Well,
This
you
time.
lose dexterity and strength as well, but you know.
You know.
I was actually telling Brie, I was like, oh, I need to tell you about what kind of. Oh, look at new kitty.
Oh,
Look at that, he's a fluffer.
Oh, so
that's a
lovely.
blooper with a white
I
mustache.
You're a chunky boy.
love-
Oh, oh,
Very
goodbye.
That's a good cat.
Where are my
Name
my
is Churchill.
inspirations?
Well, we're at 10 GFIs for Drew.
Oh. Oh.
Great. Oh no.
Wait,
I
we
think I
are?
know what's gonna
Yep.
happen too. Oh, this is bad. This
Didn't-
is really bad.
do get your
you don't know
inspo,
what you've
Jakey.
just done.
Heck yeah, I'm at 10. I'm gonna spend 10.
We'll have
Don't
you
know.
remind me next week and we'll do it just because there's
Okay.
less time for organically for you to find something. Otherwise, it's going
That
to be
makes
like,
sense.
as the snow melts beneath your feet. So, okay. Emma, you have 10 GFYs. I'll keep that in mind for an appropriate time. But yeah, before we came back from break, I did tell Brie, I was like, oh, I want to kind of warn you and Drew what it's going to be about. But Drew wasn't back yet, so I never got a chance to.
Yeah. So this was pre-planned. You pre-planned to steal my fingers.
I knew it was going to happen at some point.
And I already know, I think, what you're gonna do for me, so I'm scared.
So, as everyone, the mood eventually does kind of lighten as Winter does the pull my finger joke. The small explosion comes. Emma says, I was going to make confetti, and everybody kind of chuckles about it. Ritter kind of gives the sad, nervous, like, chuckle, especially as Ashrin kind of gives a stare towards him as everybody's kind of given the like, oh, but then Ritter looks as if for permission. Ashrin just should we get going? Get away from the bloodstocks then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Good.
Let's go.
We know where we're at, that we can triangulate a little better. Let's go. As Ritter and Elijah take the lead, Elijah goes up to Ritter and says, you know what, how about you don't worry about today. You just hold on. I'll lead. As Elijah confidently begins strolling off towards the northeast. It's going to be about a 2 days journey. We're going to get to Crystal Hollow. We'll see if they have a healer there. If they don't, we'll head on to where all of the unwilling are, and we'll see if they have a healer there that works with flesh. But we need to move.
Of course they do.
We need to move pretty quickly. Ready?
Ready.
Off we go.
Ready.
And then at kind of a just to get away for a little bit, at a jog, Elijah begins to lead the party. There's a 2 days journey before you're going to get to Crystal Hollow. It's another night. Are you going to do the same hut thing each night, Winter, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. It takes you a little longer for some reason. I don't know. As you lay out the ley lines and stuff. But eventually you are able to get the hut up and rolling. That night, now that you're away from the Bloodstocks, things seem to be much quieter. You feel a little bit safer, but everybody roll me a perception as we're going to do that and check on each night as you're on these dangerous roads.
Oh my gosh! Last time I only had a +4. I forgot I have proficiency in that now.
Yeah.
I didn't before. So that's a 24.
Lordy.
Winter.
16.
Emma.
6.
I'm using an inspo. Hold on. I'm scared. Oh no, it made it worse. It's natural 1.
Good.
Oh.
Ashwin.
You know what? I'll also use an inspo.
Stay in
It's
the
the
hut.
same exact number. It's 8.
Good. As camp is set for the night, same groups of people go out again. Ordell, you and Winter are up for the night with your watch. Winter, you're looking down at what once were your fingers and just remembering the good times you once had, all the things you used to be able to do. You always wanted to be able to learn to spin a coin between your fingers, but now you never will. You always wanted to be a juggler. Now you never will. Ordell, you see Winter there kind of focused on her hands, and it's awkward enough being that it was partially you and Ritter's response that you just let her take a look there for a little bit as you're going about your watch and looking around. It's just a moment, just a brief moment. You thought you saw a silhouette of someone coming from the west. But as quickly as you saw them, they had vanished. But it may have just been smudges in the corner of your eye, a floater in your vision. But you could have sworn you saw someone. They looked tall.
Ordell's gonna leave the dome, kind of roll his shoulders and make himself like give off like as much light as he can with like produce flame.
Winter, you see Ordell stand up and exit the dome.
Ordell, is everything okay?
I don't know. I thought I saw someone, but I'm just gonna walk ahead. I've got my
Okay,
stone, so I'll yell into it. Take it off Emma. As Ordell's gonna just kind of like walk forward, using that sweet passive 22 that I keep forgetting exists. But yeah, Ordell's just gonna give like a full listen now, like go kind of where he thought he saw wherever the person was. But he's gonna just kind of move yeah, using control flame and produce flame, basically just keep like an orb just like moving around Ordell within like 60 feet, just so he has like a light coming from him, but then like light like ahead of him.
Winter.
I'm gonna watch him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna stand like on the edge, without leaving the orb, and watch him. And I'm gonna instruct the I'm gonna say like two of the lovey-dovey couple to go protect him at a distance.
Ordell, as you create the lights, you hear the snow beneath the skeletons' feet as they follow you. You hear the clacking of their bones. You turn around and see the gold from the flames upon you that's on their rings reflect off of them as they move up towards you and kind of nod their heads to let you know that they're going to follow.
Ordell just nods back to him and just keeps moving forward, just very on edge.
As you hold up a great flame, producing a lot of light around Winter, you can see Ordell move off into the darkness before you eventually lose the shape of Ordell and just begin to see the great flame. Ordell, you move off in the direction that you thought you saw them. You continue to look around, trying to find something or someone, but you don't see anyone. But in the snow, with your perception, you do see a couple of very heavy footsteps made by great boots in the snow that seem to move off to the north.
Does it look like, based on position, this was someone who like walked, stopped, turned north, or was this someone who was like the pointing of the feet? Like, were they watching us, or?
You have to roll survival on that.
Yeah, I'll give that a go. Ooh, and I lost my proficiency in survival, but with +4 still, it's a 23.
Solid. As Ordell, you look to the great boot prints. They seem to have come from the south, and they stopped, almost turning towards your camp before moving off to the north. And beneath the boot prints, you do see there seems to be a few drops of blood in the boot print.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, Ordell's now just gonna
As you look up, following the footsteps to the north, you see an outline of someone. And for the briefest moment that you can see them before they fade off into the dark, moving to the north, you see a large, large man, huge shoulders, gray in appearance, and red tattoos. You see yourself in your memory, moving north before they fade from view.
This is Flame Baby, contacting base camp. I am following something, and I don't know if it's dangerous. I'm going to keep updating you, but I do not know how to explain what I see right now.
Winter, you hear nothing, as we've established that the magic doesn't go through, but Ordell, in the moment, you don't think of it. You send your message, and you say you keep following?
Yeah, Ordell in a trance follows whatever this is.
Do you go
How
quickly,
long?
or... Go ahead.
How long has he been gone for?
Just
at
maybe
this point?
3-4 minutes. You can still see his flame
Okay.
in the distance.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ordell would run
Okay.
if he. I think Ordell's Ordell's at a point where like he is back to being much more naive. And if he sees himself, I think that is something that is very important and urgent to him, because if he sees someone who looks like who he was, that looks a lot like someone he's very afraid of.
Winter, you begin to see Ordell's flame move to the north before it moves seemingly very quickly, almost running to the north. You can still see it off in the dark shadows of the night, but it is moving quick.
Whose watch is next, and how long until their watch?
That will be Elijah and Ritter. Maybe
I'm
about an
gonna
hour.
try and keep an eye on the flame back up and try and like shake Ritter awake. Ritter.
Yeah.
I'm worried. Ordell saw something. He went to investigate. I can't see him anymore, but I can see the flame. It looks like he's running.
Ritter, without much of a thought, grabs his bow, quickly strings it, grabs his quiver of arrows, and says, "I'll be back."
Wait.
Have you
And I
tried
give
talking to him?
I
Because
give
Emma would be
him-
awake regardless.
I give Ritter the stone.
Okay. Okay. Before Ritter kind of nods and runs out of the bubble, trying to find the flame to the north. Ordell.
Sorry, Emma, I assumed you were in the ring.
Oh, no, you're all good.
Ordell, you begin running off that way. You pause for a moment before you do so, thinking, did I just see what I think I saw? And you look to the skeletons as if for them to confirm what you saw, but realize they're not going to be able to say anything before you begin running off that way. The skeletons follow. You see those big, hulking, broad shoulders once again, gray in skin. You rush forward towards it. You see the light emanating off of yourself. This can't be. It can't be you. You run. And do you call out at any point, or just run to chase it?
Now stature-wise, because there's two people Ordell thinks this could be aside from himself. Does this look like someone who is shorter and potentially bearded, or is this someone like Ordell's full height?
Big Ordell height.
I think Ordell, in the confusion, just screams out, "It's me, Ordell! Turn around!"
When you cry out, Ordell, you hear from the other end of the sending stone from Ritter saying, "Ordell, what's going on?" Before you see the body turn around. And you don't see what you thought you saw. Maybe you wanted to see it in your mind, but you see a man holding a torch that must have been the glow that you saw before. The winds here, the darkness playing a trick on you as he turns around. He's holding a small boar in his hand. The gray skin before seems to be the gray skin of a creature that he made a cloak out of. This is a tall man, but now that you see him, it's just a man. The cloak of this creature's leather over his head made his head look gray as he turns. A large, red, bearded fellow holds the torch in his hand, and the boar underneath that you can see dripping blood as he holds his torch out before you. He speaks. What languages do you speak again?
Dwarvish, Primordial, and Giant.
Ah. You recognize his tongue. I didn't know if you kept this one when you changed. He speaks in Giant, though he is not one. He speaks in Giant. Who are you? Why do you follow me?
Ordell responds in Giant. I thought you were someone else. Sorry. You look familiar.
As we'll pause it right there. Seems like a solid place to stop. The man with the torch and the boar in hand stares at Ordell in the darkness. As Ordell, you can begin to hear the quickened footsteps of Ritter running up behind you. As seems like a solid place to stop. Drew, hit him up one more time with that giveaway, and let's see who wins this other token for the active group-wide rerolls. I'm excited for Ordell's.
Chav Hunter again.
Jesus. Chav Hunter, congratulations! You win a token to make everybody re-roll everything. This is what you get when you watch a bunch of times. Verity and Chav Hunter winning this time. Congratulations. So yeah, you get. We'll call it the baby inspiration.
I think Chav's one of the luckiest people I know.
Right, Chav has won a ton. So make sure that you use that sometime soon. Exciting times. Sorry about your fingers there, Brie, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
10 GFYs do that to you.
Are you sorry though? Are you sorry?
It's like
I
30%
didn't
of
want
my
this.
digits.
I didn't want this to happen. This comes from
You made me do this.
weeks and weeks of talking about smut ridden. You've earned this.
The irony.
You fall upon losing fingers.
Oh, that's just funny. I just thought you were a rocker, Brie, and I thought you could constantly be rocking on, you know? You were our emo goth. I thought if anybody could enjoy this, it would be you.
I went straight to Spider-Man.
You need to learn the web spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider climb. Right.
Also, she's not handling it well. Just trying to put up a brave face for the family.
Yeah.
There's some trauma that clerics can't fix.
Dude,
This
Ashrin,
is one of them.
I felt in real life like Jackie was going to kill me. Just say.
You chopped off her best friend's fingies. What is she supposed to do?
Well,
Kill you in real life. That's the only option.
well, Ashrin, you're at 6 GFYs, so I don't look forward to what happens when you get to 10.
What? I had 5. Where did I get the 6th one from? Oops.
I think it happened. I don't know. It was at least 2 sessions ago, based on the color pen that I wrote it with.
Okay. Good to know.
Also, the doodle notes are going to be up shortly. I just have one corner that's like empty that I'm not sure what to put in it.
My
Fingy.
fingers.
Oh, trust me, there's quite a few drawings of the fingies. There's some good ones.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. Excited for the 10 GFYs for Drew next time and the 10 inspos for Ordell next time. Maybe we'll even have Alex join us soon. So very excited about that. Hope you all have a fantastic night, and we will see you next week on the Red Wagon Inn. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Goodbye.